All right, guys, let's just get right into it. All right. The MamaMax saga is hopefully coming to an end. We have the 4 video, what was it? The recommended watch list. Somebody sent me, I think, a picture in the Discord of Nicholas Diorio showing us there's 4 videos that are imperative. Okay, guys. One is from FBS Diesel, the downfall of MamaMax, which we're going to do now. There's a lyrics one. Then I think Diorio and Mudahar dropping their own videos, and then hopefully we're done with it. Hey, it's content, and I'm curious about it, especially the past. This one I'm very curious about, the history more than anything else. But it's like any video game that you kind of like. Sometimes it's dragged on a little bit, okay? And I'm ready for that to move on. So if you're in the Discord, you remember, send me some fun stuff too, so that we can deprogram our brains. But anyway, given the severity of this situation, of this alleged vampire cult, we of course are going to play Vampire Survivors, because we are all the survivors of this cult that supposedly has 200 members, only 5 active, but yet 0 evidence to put this person behind bars. What an incredible thing. So let's just get this party started.
MamaMax is a Texas-based 27-year-old YouTuber who's,
I would say, not very based,
cultivated a dedicated audience through social media platforms like YouTube and Patreon due to his boundary-crossing YouTube series in which he hunts PDF files.
In which he does really weird, like, theater-esque acting, in my opinion. Saying he's trying to catch those people. I don't know, it's weird.
On the internet, while using a curriculum of impactful tools in filmmaking to express his distaste for the insidious,
The starving artist.
grotesque personalities that take advantage of youth. He's a pretty polarizing figure. Many stand by his side and applaud his tactical prowess as they're convinced he gets the job done. However, there are others that believe his actions are an egregious strategy that treads deeply.
Did you show the Twitter meme? Was that the Twitter meme? Where they make you look black in Chinese? Okay.
Within the lines of exploitation. And some even believe that this whole PDF file hunting thing is a masquerade. It's a grift, using a powerful subject that people believe in to gain.
I mean, from what it seems like to me, that's a very sensitive subject, and people are hesitant of criticizing somebody who will, I guess, maybe it's well-intentioned. Try to call somebody out in a well-intentioned way about that, over that topic, and people feel they can't really criticize them because they'll use it as a shield, and that's what it seems like more than anything else is MamaMax uses as a shield. It's like, well, I'm going after bad people, so you can't criticize me. But I don't even frankly think he knows what a pedophile is, because there was that one guy he claimed had an inappropriate interaction with a 15-year-old at 18. That doesn't classify as, that might be inappropriate, but that's not the same thing. Just because something's inappropriate doesn't make it like a heinous act, right? We have leagues of, or levels of, inappropriate nature. So
in an audience that will shower Max with donations and Patreon subs in the hopes that Max will take down future virtual deviants. When it comes to Max, there's a lot.
And of course, making your content about catching people like this, I imagine, is going to almost create the pathway of you trying to find people like this. But sometimes, maybe not in its purest form. Oh, we got to find a bad guy. So you find somebody who may not be a bad guy that just kind of did maybe a little bit of a bad thing, but not anywhere near vampire cult status.
A lot of questions that have been asked. How did he get to this destination on YouTube? Where did he come from? As well as the looming irony that Max himself has his own allegations that have come back to haunt him.
I remember watching that 3-hour thing a year ago. You can go look that up.
Not only that, but it seems in recent months there's a possibility.
It's on my Clips channel now. I switched channels.
That the wheels are beginning to fall off this persona, and his career is at risk, as others, including ones in his own community, have begun to question the strategies that he uses and implements to gain his success and get the word out about PDF files. Max has said on record his reasoning for becoming a YouTuber was eventually to learn as much of the craft as he could, and then use those tools to become a worthy filmmaker.
The whole point...
I hate filmmaker type. Well, I don't hate all filmmakers. I know a guy who thinks he's this artsy filmmaker, and he was the laziest worker I've ever worked with, and he was just such an asshole. That's what Max reminds me of. He thinks he's super artistic and everything, but he's just super annoying.
Of doing YouTube was to learn filmmaking, because the ultimate goal is to make films, right? And so that's why I started my YouTube channel.
Why don't you just make a film channel then?
In the first place was to learn how to make films. And as you can see, like those of you who have been around,
Maybe his films aren't profitable enough, so he'd rather turn these situations into some kind of like a masquerade.
for a while, you can see like the evolution of my channel. Like as time went on, I just got, you know, better and better at filmmaking.
Yeah,
His channel itself was
beautiful.
created after Max began to notice how successful Leafy Is Here was, and how easy Leafy made it look.
The people that
He was inspired by Leafy Is Here? Okay.
inspired me to make my channel. I kind of hate having to bring this up because it's people that I currently don't like anymore.
Oh, really?
But yeah, so
Okay.
like people like Leafy were like the ones.
Wait, hold on. when was Leafy popular? We're in 2024, 2016, or 8 years ago. All right, I guess he was 19.
That like made me
I feel like 19's a little old to be liking Leafy back then, but hey, you know what? It was a long time ago.
like get on my channel because I saw how fast he was growing from doing something so simple, like he's just
Yeah.
talking, and
Just
I was like,
talking.
oh right, that's pretty
Is this guy's normal voice? Oh my god, does he intentionally add like a vocal fry to himself just to sound like this kind of cool guy? He sounds like he's still going through puberty.
cool. I
Or is this just increased speed?
want to do that, and you know, like others
That's
like
pretty cool.
Pyrocynical
I
and,
really wanna do that.
Grade A Under A, H3H3,
Yeah, I really
even
wanna
Don't
do
Hug
it.
Me, I'm Scared, like
Yeah,
kind of inspired me.
these
'cause
guys really inspired me.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
I can see that.
Okay,
And
cool.
Max felt like he could have success with taking that route. Sometime
Cool.
around late 2015, early 20.
Well, you know, yeah, you could always trust somebody who desperately wants to be famous. Of course, those are the people you could trust the most. You know, listen, this kind of fell into my lap, and I'm more than grateful. I don't deserve any of it, as I don't think most people do. But there's something about people who like really want to be famous, and it's like there's like, yeah, I wanted to be famous on something from the start. That's like, I don't know. I'm a little hesitant. So
2016, Max would begin creating content by making videos that he would call YouTube Hell.
Ooh,
These
thank you so much for the 11 months large gut from Blossoms. Hey, Papa, first time in the stream. Okay. And in the stream in a while. Oh, in a while. Was on a vacation with my boyfriend. It was a lot of fun, but I'm ready to get back to gooning to your content. Do you still struggle with having a small pee-pee? Okay, well, that was a lot of information. I don't struggle with it. My wife does.
videos were similar to what is considered a YouTube poop, which is a video
Alright.
short in length, edited comedically to cause
YouTube
confusion.
poop.
However, the difference with Max's content was that he would use clips of hentai and other
What?
visuals that push boundaries. His content would also shift towards commentary topics
You mean anime?
like Leafy, Ethan, Lieutenant Corbus, etc. He would also reportedly
Okay.
inherit the name MamaMax due to a Filthy Frank reference because his fan base saw similarities to Filthy Frank.
and I guess people got like Filthy Frank vibes from my channel.
At this point, this is not his real voice to me anymore. I'm pretty sure this is a fake voice. This isn't his real voice. I don't believe it. This is like this weird fake voice that he's putting on. I'm never gonna unhear the last one.
Because before I did Life Sucks, I just did these like insane edits called YouTube Hells.
I heard that Mama Max actually wrote the Dixie D'Amelio song. I just want to be happy. Just so you guys know that too. I was somebody somewhere told me that. It's got to be true. I think.
They were basically like YouTube poops,
Yeah, poops.
but they were about a specific YouTuber usually, and they always had like a shitload of hentai in them
Why?
because I thought hentai was hilarious at the time.
I just don't believe that you thought it was hilarious. You probably like to look at it, which is fine. All right. I'm a man of culture myself, but
And yeah, I get people just started calling me you know, Papa Max.
okay.
And I'm like, well, why don't y'all just call me Mama Max? Because like it's an alliteration. So that's where the Mama from Mama Max comes from. It's from Filthy Frank.
Max's
Cool.
content would evolve into Max narrating over animations that were drawn by his sister in an episodic series that was called Life Sucks. The Life Sucks series was basically an outlet for Max because if you go back and watch his old Life Sucks series, you'll find out he's a very cringy, lonely, emo, sad boy.
Yeah, I would have never thought.
You know, the whole incel vibes, he had zero filter and also zero life experience. Max would use
Yeah, he still has that.
the series to let all his Zoomer frustrations out into the world. In these videos, he'd rant about how awful his family was. He'd reveal personal details about
You think his family was really that bad?
his relationships due to heartbreak. He'd even try to wedge
Oh yeah. Oh, he was a sad guy.
in inspirational segments that came off more like a cringy "you can do it" montage, all while showing clips of anime and tackling serious subjects like terrorism and using
What the fuck?
pretentious phrases like malevolently melancholy. Malevolently Melancholy is like the name of my band in high school. Like, although you can see a glimpse of a talented filmmaker here, Max's series was just hot garbage, and I think Max would even agree with me there, which is why these videos are no longer public on his channel.
Oh, we got rid of him? Come on, dude. Bring him back.
If you ever want to have a laugh, just search up a re-uploaded version of
Bring back the cringe, dude. Oh, fuck.
the Life Sucks episode, and you'll literally feel secondhand embarrassment watching it.
Whether you're malevolently melancholy or fucking frustrated or disturbingly infuriated or have the absence of all emotion and feel so depressed that you could vertically slice your genitals in half till blood spews out of it like a fire hose, then this
Why do you say these words, brother? Why are you saying words like this? These are old, I guess.
video was made just for you. Hey guys,
Hi guys, this video was made just for you.
it's Valentine's Day, and while everyone else out there is getting their faces fucked and contracting STDs or flaunting out their clearly broken relationships with PDA, or even just being cute with the one they love and making you feel like poop, I am here with you today to tell you that it's the end of the world and everything is falling apart, so it's
This guy's just a real emo boy, huh?
time to set yourself on fire and die.
Cool.
I'm kidding. I'm here to tell you to not worry one little bit if you're lonely today.
God.
Also, I want to note that some of the women discussed in these Life Sucks video would eventually show up again years later with their own stories. But, you know, more to come to that when we get there. Look, we've all made content in the past that we regret, but for
Not me. Just kidding.
Max, it would kind of get worse. He would eventually grow too depressed to continue his Life Sucks series about being depressed, which is very ironic, and would push it to the side for something he would consider as more fun. That more fun thing was hentai reviews.
I started making the Life Sucks because I was depressed and wanted to help other people.
Hentai review? Like what is that? Like you do those on the hub? Is that what that is?
And then I started making hentai reviews because my channel wasn't doing well and I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, and I was just confused about everything. And I was just like, fuck it, I'm just going to review hentai, fuck everything.
Well, that's quite an experimental process there. Okay.
I'm not going to get too much into the hentai reviews because I want ads, but just know there's a lot of weird stuff.
I want to touch and feel. I want to know it's fucking real. To actually have control of the wheel. I don't want to just sit and watch as I rub and grip my crotch. I'm so bored of that shit, so stop. I can see.
Why? All right, like okay, you want to do the hentai review, fine, but why like this? Why do you need to be a poet about it or try to be one? Really?
They're just balloon boobs. I know it's a cartoon. Minded every new moon, but I'm a savage and I liked it. I'm ravenous and I'm violent with anime in my privates. I'm just lonely and thirsty. I was only someone searching for mostly one to hold me. Or, you know, just someone who cares enough about me to be willing to at least be comfortable enough to make contact with my skin and not walk away ashamed and making excuses as to why I'm supposed to be an untouchable substance for them. Pardon me.
Dude, what? How old was he making this content? What the fuck was that, dude? He just gave us hentai slam poetry. This is no way.
This is around the time Max would gain traction as a YouTuber in late 2016, early 2017, in which he would surpass
2017. Okay.
a few milestones in his subscriber count and began to help him network with other YouTubers such as Elvis the Alien and Corpse Husband who were making similar content. In fact, he would
Oh, is that where he got the voice from?
also be the first guest on the infamous podcast Hot Wet Soup, where he admitted to being able to suck his own dick.
I very highly doubt that it's even true. He probably was just saying that because he thought it was a cool thing because Marilyn Manson could supposedly do that.
That actually reminds me.
Okay,
Go ahead,
link a
Max.
picture.
I am an alien.
Everybody link a picture.
What were you gonna say, Max?
I forgot to mention I can do something that I don't really like
This is really this guy's voice?
talking about.
Oh God! I'm ready for this.
I can suck my own dick.
Yeah, okay. So obviously Max is the kid in high school that nobody really liked, so he made up a bunch of stories for attention. Okay.
What?
What? Dude, are you serious right
No,
now?
I really can. I really can do that.
How?
Yes.
How?
Maybe.
That
Are you missing some ribs?
yeah.
I mean, no, but I mean, I don't know if it's just long enough for me to do it. Or...
Jesus.
Okay. Why is this so funny to them?
Good for you, Max. It's more like giving head than receiving, you know? After the hentai
I guess it would be both at that point.
reviews grew stale, that wasn't the only thing that grew stale. I need to not do that every time I have a gag. After the hentai reviews grew stale for Max, he would transition into game reviews, in which he reviewed games like Dead Space and Elder
Whoa, this guy's all over the place. Holy moly. What an inspiration to us all. You could just really just keep switching your content up.
Scrolls. But this unfortunately did not fulfill Max, and as he saw the rising increase of content that had a darker subject matter from creators like Nexpo, Lemino, Ahoy, and Mudahar, he became inspired and made a switch to more of a horror atmosphere. He would then upload a spooky video on a viral indie game, Kanye Quest, which would blow up in the
Kanye Quest?
Yeah,
Oh, like Kanye
speaking
West. His name is Ye now.
of ads, by the way. I'm actually currently not making money from ad rev on YouTube.
Why?
Because there's some weird shenanigans that are happening with the company, the MCN that I'm with. I have a second channel where I stream.
But he still has an MCN? Why?
You can become a channel member, and it's all very pog.
So here's a new model. Please
YouTubers
don't draw too much Rule 34 of this design. I understand he's very attractive.
So let's get to the pedo hunting, shall we? On March 27th, 2020, MamaMax would upload another spooky video, which was called Cartoon Incorporated.
Why would you still have an MCN at this point? I don't understand.
The video surrounded theories that Elsagate was still alive and well, and how pedophiles were using children's cartoon channel to take advantage of minors. The video would include a segment where Max would actively hunt and bait an alleged pedo in a voice call, and once he did that, there was really no looking back. He was hooked. Max had so much fun
He was hooked on talking to predators. Okay.
in his quest to capture pedos that he became addicted to it and wanted to do it again.
Didn't really
How come it's an alleged pedo? How old was the guy and how old was the victims? I'm just curious.
expect to do like pedo hunting stuff until I just tried it,
Cool.
and it was so much fun that I
Why would it be fun?
just
Okay.
wanted to like do.
I just feel like, why would it be fun to try to catch pedos? I feel like the people who do it don't have fun. They're like, oh, this is very serious, important work to us. But all right,
Do it
whatever.
again. And then it's gotten to the point now where it's like, now I feel like I have a duty to like,
Duty.
do what I do for children, because
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that is
Beautiful
what we
stuff,
should
dude.
be prioritizing as a species, is like our children. So I
Yes.
think
Maybe
that
we
is
should- maybe we should settle down and try to have some of that.
that is basically the evolution of my channel so far.
Like how Max was inspired by creators like Nexpo, he would
Jeez.
find inspiration with the pedo hunters on YouTube, like the channel Anxiety War, and he would take his content to the next level. No longer would it be creepy anecdotal stories that may or may not be true. Max had evolved into a pedophile hunter with a filmmaking aesthetic, juxtaposed with Hotline Miami scenery. So now Max would begin to develop a team in which the main goal was to expose pedophiles within the virtual circles that infested the internet. While doing this, he would create the content in the same vein as an artistic horror movie, using filmmaking tactics.
It's just so weird to me that you would even use that aesthetic. I mean, it takes longer, and I don't know. It just makes it come off less serious. But whatever.
To convey a more
I guess if he was actually more effective, people wouldn't be giving him so much shit.
inventive approach within the YouTube spectrum. His videos were incredibly watchable, and they involved a source of content that brought in a lot of views. The formula of a dark subject matter mixed with the righteous pathway into giving a viewer a feeling of doing something good by watching the video basically beat out the algorithm, as the video on Cartoon Incorporated would attain millions of views. And from Max's perspective, he had found his passion. This was who Max would become. On June 19th, 2020, Max would upload a video where he infiltrated a chatting website for minors called kidschat.net, which felt like an old school open chat room that was advertised
That's weird. Why would you have like a .net site for kids to chat?
towards children, which unfortunately, of course, meant it was also like shooting fish in a barrel when it came to finding a pedo. Max would show the face of an alleged deviant he had been chatting with, unveiling the person's photo to an audience of millions.
How come it's like all alleged? Like, wouldn't he have confirmed that, or is this guy just being careful?
And also in the video, Max was having trouble getting the details from another alleged pedo. So apparently he traveled to the deep web to hire a hacker. But the craziest thing that happened in this video, and I gotta be honest, it's kind of unbelievable, is that the alleged pedo in the chat room had apparently hacked Mama Max's email and uploaded audio of a woman screaming to it.
Never added me on Skype or Discord.
Is this gonna get
Guess he's
scary?
too smart for that. He did, however, find my catfish email that's attached to those accounts. Now, I have no idea how he did this. The only places I've used this email address were on Discord, Skype, and Children's Chat. And as far as
This is weird.
I'm concerned, they don't publicly share that information.
Okay.
Unless there was a security breach or I forgot to privatize that info. I haven't the slightest clue how he was able to find it.
Oh, fuck.
But here he is. All he sent was an MP3 file. Labeled.
That's what I was just kind of reenacting the voice for you guys.
As his uploads continued to increase in views, Max would cultivate a very dedicated audience that would do anything for him. And as a YouTube ad
Oh, are you saying he was grooming his audience? I'm just kidding.
revenue had always been lackluster for MamaMax, the enormous source of income primarily came from his Patreon. This allowed Max to facilitate a budget for his monumental and debt-inducing videos. However, YouTube still had a stranglehold on Max due to the subject matter of the videos.
The best way you can help, honestly, is through Patreon. That's the best way you can help. Like that is the lifeblood of the channel. Like that is where I get all my money. None of my videos until Prey made ad revenue. Like none of my more recent content made any ad revenue. At least not to where it makes it different. Like I get like, you know, a video that makes 2 million views gets me a check for like $20.
Just killed myself. Sorry, in the game.
That should tell you something about how much Patreon is important to the channel.
It wouldn't be long before Max felt like he was pushed into a corner by YouTube, and he would use his own clout to strike back at the platform.
Hey, YouTube, why aren't you monetizing my videos that advertisers don't want? Is that the pick a side thing? What is the pick a side thing? Is that him just complaining because YouTube is like, hey, we need to make money, so we can't monetize these? And he's like, no, I should still get it. Like, what's that?
On September 26, 2020, MamaMax would make a video basically lambasting YouTube for taking down one of his videos for harassment and bullying. The original video with MamaMax attempted to expose a mobile app called MyLol, which apparently was being hijacked by potential pedophiles due to the app being advertised as a dating app for minors, which would make them vulnerable to deviant predators.
Sure.
In the video, Max would dox multiple potential pedophiles, including showing an actual phone number. This is from the uncensored version.
Well, why would you go that far to do that? Like, first of all, if you think that they're that bad, why wouldn't you just go to the police? Second of all, like, why would you, you're not like a police investigator, so why would you risk your video getting taken down for doxing by doxing people? Like, did that need to happen in the video? Or was that just something that, like, were you virtue bullying? Was he like, oh, well, this guy's bad because I say so, which I don't even know how good this guy's investigation skills are. So you can go bully these guys. Just, what is it?
Would also show imagery of him having a gun put into his mouth. Quite a few things that might not have been considered TOS friendly from YouTube's perspective.
Yeah, no shit.
YouTube is a frustrating process. A lot of times, content creators will upload a video, follow community guidelines to a T, and for some reason, the automated system will still be alerted, and through no fault of the uploader, YouTube will take down the video and initiate community guideline violations. We've seen.
Yeah, I mean, that's happened to me like 2 or 3 times last year, and I had to go through the process of like doing it on Twitter just to get them to ban me, and they're like, oh yeah, we made a mistake, and you still lose a few days of revenue. So like, yeah, that can be definitely true.
It's time and time again, and YouTubers are forced to deal with automated replies to try and get this fixed. And a lot of the times it goes nowhere. So one can relate to Max's frustrations during this situation.
Yeah, the best place to go is Twitter, and to like at them on a Twitter post, because they really just don't do anything in their actual internal process. They won't actually review it. They'll say they'll review it if you appeal something, but they don't. And I know that because I tried to have them review it. I appealed it. They pretty much instantly denied it. Then I talked to somebody specifically in the studio thing. They denied that a day later. And then I talked to somebody on Twitter, and they reinstated the thing after a few days. So that's, yeah.
And at the time, a lot of creators did as well. However, this would be the first instance of MamaMax taking a very sensationalized approach in attacking YouTube, using his content as a sort of advantage. In his content, Max hunts pedophiles. Therefore,
well, allegedly. I don't really know his videos, but so far it doesn't really seem like he does that. It seems like I don't even know if he could define what an actual pedophile is. I mean, based on like the Memator guy, I keep forgetting his name, that 15, 18-year-old scenario. It's clear that, and he called that pedophilia. Clearly, he doesn't even really know what the fuck he's talking about.
Max's perspective, if YouTube takes his content down, they're actually aiding pedos from being stopped by Max himself. With hindsight, I definitely think this is an unfair approach, because although Max may think his content is special, the balance of...
I bet people like were jerking off all over this narrative. There's no way that they weren't, like, what, 3 years ago? He said in 2020? There's no way that they weren't. Back then, people were like so up in arms and like fucking brain rotted about this type of a content. Like, I get it, you know. I probably was there a little bit too. Now I feel, I honestly, I think that it, like I said this a few times, I think it started with the Me Too movement, where survivors weren't getting any attention. And then society started listening. And then it got to a point where society listened a little too much, where you see that with like Amber Heard. And, you know, you could use things like, well, this as a shield when you're not necessarily right about it. And now I think things have kind of recoiled and gone back to like a better spot, where I feel like, you know, we're listening to people who come forward, but we're not instantly like affirming it and condemning the person that is accused, you know, because you can't do that. It's a very serious thing. You have to be able to prove it.
YouTube should allow all content to be treated the same, and therefore when the platform takes down a video, it's not actually an attack. It's simply either an oversight or the YouTuber in question actually broke the TOS. To paint YouTube as a platform that's helping pedos to avoid capture.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. They're trying to make money. And if like people have their videos taken down, or if they start monetizing or keeping up videos that would violate their terms of service, that could bring another adpocalypse on.
is just absolutely fucking preposterous. So I don't know why MamaMax would think he's so special here. We all know this now, but at the time, Max was able to really crank up the narrative, and content creators ran with it. In his video, Max would ask his audience to basically pester any creator with any sort of clout to get in touch with YouTube and use the
Hey everybody, H3H Stream Moist Critical. He's really annoying.
hashtag AnswerUsPedoTube.
More than happy to accept that this was another silly mistake by Team YouTube. I have already tried reaching out to you on my own.
It's so cringe when you hear his actual voice. This is this is just so embarrassing for him.
And you ignored me.
Imagine he did it normally. Hey guys, it's me. There's YouTube. YouTube, they freaking took my video down. Guys, I cannot believe this.
So you brought this upon
yourself, YouTube. You took me down. Now I'm gonna strike you down with my holy hammer.
yourself.
You brought this upon. I can't do it. I don't even know why I would need to, because I don't have a naturally high squeaky clown voice like MamaMax. So
My lovely audience, you are the only ones who can help me get an answer from them. It's all up to you now.
he's so annoying.
The fans.
And oh boy, after this,
The fans.
Max unleashed his audience onto YouTube with the goal of getting his video reinstated. Many saw this as an act of goodwill. Max was doing the platform a favor by hunting disgusting and hideous cretins who invaded this space. Getting these people away from these platforms and making the youth aware of them was applauded practice by the community. Only some really criticized Max, and mainly they were critical of how he went about it. You see, there's going to be a pattern here with MamaMax. It's going to be about how his process in executing these things comes with
Is incredibly unprofessional.
exaggerated tactic. One YouTuber who would play some pushback against MamaMax was, yet again, another commentary mainstay, Tommy C, who reacted to MamaMax's
Yeah, you don't know if you guys knew this, but I was right there with Tommy C trying to push against MamaMax all those years ago. Sorry, I'm gooning a little too hard. I'm just kidding.
answer as PedoTube and had some respectful criticisms against the content creator. The main point Tommy, along with his co-host at the time, Nicholas Diorio, alluded to was that YouTube was in no way, shape, or form purposefully trying to protect pedophiles here, and that more likely the reasoning Max's video was taken down
because Max is ugly
was because of the verbiage and the imagery shown in the video. That
Yeah, which is something that he probably could have avoided. That's the thing. When you have a video that you can work within the proper guideline system and you just don't, then you're just being stupid. Max could have very easily done that, and whatever silly, magical, whimsical bullshit he wanted to put into the video that might have got DMCA'd, he could have just put that part on Patreon if he really wanted to. Hey guys, full uncensored on Patreon, blah 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 blah. He could have easily done that, but he's not interested. He's just interested in almost. I mean, one could argue he's trying to manufacture a scenario where they pull him down so that he gets to say, "Look, I'm the victim here."
may have tripped the algorithm.
Shh, don't give away my joke.
Which caused an automated community guidelines violation.
When you're talking about pedophile rings and all this shit, you have to use words like CP, child pornography. You have to use words like sexual assault, sexual violence. I was 15. All of these things are also
trip
out of context.
the algorithm.
When you're using bots, when you're using the algorithm, I mean, you're asking them to do like context. So this is kind of difficult already, right?
Yeah.
And now you're adding in the elements of horror, lynching babies.
Yeah.
The fuck? You put that in there?
Like blood-covered fucking jump scares.
Yeah.
All of these other things are caught by the algorithm.
What? Lynching? What the fuck? What?
Yeah, no, I think you're right. And he sounds like the Mandarin.
It's really easy for this to be accidentally and it sounds like the Mandarin. So
Yeah, he does.
copyright.
He sounds like the Mandarin.
6 years old.
Tommy also respectfully pointed out in that doing something like this and creating a ruckus on social media could lead to an overcorrection, similar to what happened
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I guess that's what I just argued, that that was an overcorrection with like the whole Me Too movement.
with the Matt What It Is guy from the hashtag Wake Up YouTube, which eventually led to a lot of channels getting wrongfully demonetized along with the second adpocalypse. Sometimes it's not a good idea to play games like this and try and wake the beast. You might not like the answer you get. Now at this
point, that was very whimsical.
Tommy was respectful.
I don't know.
Things would change in December of 2021. As for this
shit,
situation,
he's gonna
Mama
goon
Max
him.
would claim that
He's
the
gonna
video
goon
was a
on him.
success because it opened a dialogue with YouTube and got him an answer as to why the video was taken down, which
they would have done anyway, probably. Well, maybe they wouldn't have. I don't know.
was apparently due to him showing a phone number. Gee, what a shocker.
You mean doxing people? Wow. What's up with this pattern of doxing, dude? What the frick? What the frungus?
Moist Critical would also mention Max to the CEO of YouTube at the time in a conversation in which Susan agreed that they would implement ways that YouTube could warn the creator that something had violated the community guidelines before actually taking down the video and giving the channel a strike.
This also comes into play with MamaMax's video, if you remember that controversy that happened where MamaMax had this huge video that got taken down, and it was taken down, if I remember correctly, because he showed a phone number for like 3 seconds on screen. Well, instead of taking that whole video down, why not just let MamaMax know, take this out and the video stays up. I'm sure he would have obliged using YouTube's editing tools. So I wanted to make sure that they heard that suggestion, and Susan in particular really liked the idea. And
she said, wow, I love that idea.
Really wanted to press that on the policy team. The policy had also liked the idea and wanted to explore ways of slowly implementing this policy over time too.
Did they ever implement it? I don't think they did.
So it just really felt like everyone there was actually receptive to feedback. Susan was pressing questions.
Damn, what was most critical? The defense runner for like Team YouTube?
The policy team guy about, well, why aren't we doing this? Can we do this? Using our feedback.
Max would eventually re-upload the video with a few edits, and everything seemed copacetic. But there would be another hashtag. You see, after the success of MamaMax's upload titled Puppy Stomp, which centered around a villainous miscreant who exploited animal abuse for profit, on November 26, 2021, MamaMax would upload another video. This time, Max was taking on IMVU, which is basically a virtual world where people can interact with each other.
Yeah, I see the I see those cards. For some reason, they got IMVU cards and Walmart.
Avatars on the internet. Max investigated the platform and found that there were some that used the website to allegedly act with abhorrent intentions.
Oh God! I mean, listen, these child predators, they'll go after any. It looks like they'll just use anything that kids are on. Oh, that's good. These guys are fishy little buggers, or slimy little buggers, you know?
In fact, Max was actually able to get an alleged pedophile's face by literally sending him a picture of his...
Is he not able to confirm any of this? Like, this guy might just be being careful, but part of me is like, are they actually pedophiles, or does Max just assert that they are and have no proof?
His own ass in tight leggings. Something interesting that Max actually did in a later video was he got this man's location by having his team create a fake article on him, proclaiming that he was a pedophile. But in reality, it was an IP grabber, and when this alleged pedophile clicked the link, the team had his location. Now,
weird.
That, my friends, is...
Yeah, there's like, there's really IMVU cards at Walmart. I'm not even kidding.
Very fucking scary. But nonetheless, just like Max's prior videos on MyLol, the IMVU video was taken down by YouTube. And this sent Max into a frenzy as he again...
YouTube, I should be able to weaponize child abuse as a shield to do whatever I want. As a vigilante. Like, listen, these people might be actual dangerous people. Take it to the police. That's why they exist. You can only do so much with their social media thing. So you put out what you can, and then you go to the police with the rest. That's how it works. YouTube can't... You're untrained. You're a nobody. You're just a guy making videos. So even if you are in the right, even if this guy is a predator, like, YouTube can't, like, yeah, this MamaMax guy, he said so. Oh, what's his credentials? He was kind of cringe 4 years ago. Well, he's still kind of cringe. Yeah, he used to do hentai reviews on YouTube. Oh, shit. Well, that's all I needed to know. Whoa. Right? So, you know, you kind of have to do a little more. My wife's already coming home.
Uploaded another video criticizing YouTube for their actions. But if the previous video attacking YouTube was over the top, this one was just completely out to lunch. Okay, so get this. Basically, Max showed a virtual bare ass on the video.
Why?
And that was flagged for violating YouTube's policy on nudity or sexual...
Yeah, it's very clear to me that he was just trying to be provocative so that he would get pulled down so he can go look YouTube's bad people.
Content. So instead of Max just simply maybe re-editing the video and re-releasing it, Max decided to upload a video pointing the finger at YouTube again and inventing this narrative that YouTube is protecting pedophiles again.
You endlessly punish those of us who create content in response to injustice.
Oh my God, dude, this is so weird. He makes his voice so like unnaturally deep.
Speaking up for victims like children and pursuing the perpetrators.
This guy really has an obsession with children, huh?
Like pedophiles. It is volatile, intense, disturbing, upsetting, raw, and real. Because that is the subject matter it is
No one was convicted, of course not. That's based.
And that is the way it should be covered.
Max also collaborated with a variety of YouTubers in which each one aired out their grievances with the platform. So in a way, Max camouflaged...
Who were the lucky bachelors that decided to put their name on that one, huh?
...his aggressive video against YouTube as more as a diversification of healthy critiques. But that all goes away when it gets to Max's part, in which he goes like batshit insane. So, for example, he calls out Susan Wojcicki and tells her to do...
Did she step down already?
Do something for once or step the fuck down, which she eventually would do. Max...
Damn, I bet Max was the primary reason for that. I could imagine her just sitting in her whatever house just going, you know what, I'm really tired of this stupid motherfucker. I'm just going to step down. I can't even deal with this Max guy. He's so important and he's so powerful. And I love molesting kids as being Susan. And he found me out, so I should just retire before it gets too late. That's probably what she was thinking. Also, I just want to be very clear. That was obviously a joke, Susan. or whoever's watched, whatever, just in case. Okay, who knows?
Had no role in that, by the way. It happened. Philip DeFranco proclaiming that good old Sexy Phil had purposefully ignored Max.
Sexy Phil? What the fuck?
Because he was dealing with another drama. He also hinted that Phil wouldn't cover Max because he wasn't a big creator. He also called out Ethan Clark.
Oh, he called out Phil? Why? I like that guy. He's just a cool guy. I don't even know why I like him. I just do.
Line, who Max asked very politely due to Max hearing that Ethan had actually helped Max out prior. He also called out Keemstar/Scarce, who Max has nothing but love for because Keem and Scarce helped him out last time. Notice a pattern? Everybody who's helped him prior gets a warm greeting, and the ones who didn't, well, Max gets very aggressive towards. What else? He also called out Moist Critical, who claims that Charlie's...
I mean, he seems to have an obsession with Moist Critical. I don't know what the fuck that is.
Past video talking to the CEO of YouTube, aged like milk. I don't know how it's Charlie's...
Oh, maybe he should have talked to the CEO of racism. Me. I could help him out.
Fault that things change with time, but they did.
In Pain 28 super chatted $1.47. I can't stand
thank
that
you.
fake voice Max does.
Yeah, I agree with that. Thank you so much for the 3-month small gut, Sophian Alexandru. First time catching the Gooning live. Incredible. Thank you.
Oh, Max also called out Chris Hansen. You know, To Catch a Predator, Chris Hansen.
The Hansen one?
Why? I don't know. Apparently, Max believed Hansen had fucked up before, and thus he must make things right by using his connections to get in touch with YouTube for MamaMax. He called out Shane Dawson, basically giving Shane a chance at redemption, given that Shane had been canceled the year prior, as if he were to step up and report on MamaMax losing his video, all would be forgiven. Which I don't...
This MamaMax guy, according to himself, sounds very important.
think would really help Shane at all, and as time has gone on, not great. There was also a call out to Corpse Husband, which is a bit of a...
Wait, did Shane actually cover it?
Doozy, so stick with me here. Max and Corpse Husband do not like each other, and Max uses this part of the video to address some petty beef between the two because Corpse threw Max under the bus when Corpse said the dreaded R slur while reading a script from MamaMax on his channel for one of the life...
What? Who cares? I mean, it's a bad word. Don't use it. Who gives a shit? What?
Sucks videos. Max declared that Corpse owed him a favor, and he wanted Corpse to pay his debt.
I feel like I watched this, but it was so long ago that I haven't internalized it.
By talking about YouTube taking down Max's video.
Corpse.
I can't with the voice. It pisses me off.
I know you have nothing to do with this, but with all of your power, influence, and the favor you owe
Where did Corpse Husband go, by the way? I haven't heard of that guy in a while.
me, I just couldn't help myself.
Is this a filter of water? Did this guy film himself standing with his back to the camera on a green screen and then put make it seem like he was standing in the water?
So, remember when you reached out after years of not speaking to me while I was at the hospital tending to my sick girlfriend?
Oh, you gotta make sure you get that one in there. My girlfriend was sick, and you were mean to me.
And you kept trying to rush me home to do you a huge favor.
Hey, come on home.
And then you threw me under the bus for something you did, and at the same time acted like you were taking full responsibility for it. But I let you do it because I thought you were going to be my friend like you used to be.
That's so good. I thought you were going to be my friend. Bro.
And then you stopped talking to me immediately after you were done using me.
Oh, Max also takes another slight shot at Tommy C by clipping Tommy reacting to his previous video and then goes on an unhinged rant about how he wants his audience to overwhelm social media with pleas for YouTube to bow down to the ever so powerful MamaMax. And if they don't, then they must back a pedophile.
I'm gonna have to upset all of my fellow creators and make a goddamn disaster out of you, YouTube, because you never do anything until we start squeezing your balls. And this is the part where you come in, children.
Where you come in, What the fuck? Wait, what?
We start squeezing your balls. And this is the part where you come in, children.
What? Does that... What the fuck was that? Come in, children. Oh my god.
The links are in the
Does that... Why would he edit? Okay.
Description. I kindly ask you to come with me to make a fucking mess for the second time.
In the children again? What the fuck?
I want you to pace this bitch until the world is nauseous from looking at it. I want you to drown out every trending topic so that even something like Spider-Man looks like a microscopic speck of dust compared to us. And tonight, you two will choose. Let die the pedophiles they love, or suffer the little children. And by the end of the night, I want Twitter to be a shitstorm.
Dude, this guy is a riot. Why? I can't believe people ever took this guy seriously. He's actually, he's literally a wrestler. He's just a wrestler in like AEW, trying his hardest to make to do this like new shtick, and it's just not working out. But he's got the confidence, of course.
This time, Max had a new hashtag, of course, hashtag #PickAsideYouTube, another formulaic,
Hashtag
sensationalized attack on the platform,
pick a side,
interpreted
YouTube.
as being completely selfish. Basically, it polarizes Max's movement with an either you're with us or you're against us narrative, with the caveat that if you're against, well, then you're backing pedophiles. And there you go, maybe you are one.
I mean, I've said it before and I'll say it again. One of those groups is older and probably could beat the other in a fight. So you know which side I'm picking. I'm going to bet on the winning horse, okay?
Again, like the last time, the narrative was on Max's side. However, it wasn't as powerful of an approach as last time. The poorly manufactured structure of his execution definitely changed a few opinions, as now there were detractors who criticized Max. There was also a narrative that Max had...
Well, obviously they're just defending pedophiles.
...misled some of the YouTubers who were reaching out to them to collaborate on a video. Some did not know this would turn into a YouTube protects pedophile video. One of the few detractors that stood out
Oh, he fucking... okay, he would just like sprung that on people?
was no fucking way Vito. Okay, so here's some of the detractors that stood out. Vito Giswaldi, Lorix, Tip...
Wait, I think I've heard of the Vito guy. Okay, I know. Okay, I think I know all these guys so far.
And Tommy C. Okay.
Gotcha. What a band. Okay.
Oh, God. Okay, so Vito is an edgy comedic YouTuber known for his YouTube channel of the same name, as well as being a co-host on the podcast The Biggest Problem in the Universe with Nick Masterson. And they would reply to MamaMax's tweet asking YouTube to pick a side, children or pedophiles, with a tweet saying, I pick pedophiles. Now, it's obvious from Vito's response that this was not serious. Nonetheless, the tweet was meant to create a mockery of MamaMax's narrative. Lorix was an up-and-coming commentary YouTuber who took umbrage with MamaMax's execution, calling out YouTube, and made 2 videos being heavily critical of him. However, Lorix would eventually disappear from the internet and take down most of his videos, only to reemerge again.
Whoa! It's interesting that nobody, and I'm not important either, but nobody of any like real importance criticized that. Well, at least from what this video is showing us. And I'm not saying that makes these people bad. I'm obviously not important either. I'm not any better than anybody else. But the only reason I say that is because I feel like the reason that MamaMax didn't get more criticism was because it's just not worth it probably for bigger creators. To them, it's like, why am I going to die on this horse criticizing this fucking cringe lord when I could just move on and make other stuff and not give it any attention? Because you know that the fans, listen, all my fans are very smart, but most people are dumb as fuck, and they don't even like really invest. They just go with whatever the atmosphere is telling them. So they'll be like, yeah, you're Moist, why would you defend pedophiles? They would just start like fucking having a meltdown.
In 2023. Okay, so Tipster is another veteran of the commentary community. Tipster would be very critical of MamaMax's approach and would attempt to get Max on.
Why make tweets about stuff, by the way? Well, how much money do you make on a tweet? Why even make a tweet? I lost?
For an interview, but unfortunately, he would implode when going back and forth with Max on Twitter, resulting in Tipster deactivating and taking...
Yeah, why would you deactivate it? Oh my god, what number is that? Why bother even doing that? Like, why would you even bother deactivating?
Taking a massive L. He would later apologize to MamaMax for some reason, probably because Tipster's fat ass has no spine.
Whoa! That's fucked up, bro.
Tommy C would eventually become Bowser to MamaMax's Mario, and apparently from what Max would dictate, him being able to stop pedos on YouTube was his Princess Peach. But how did Tommy C become MamaMax's main antagonist? It all starts with a live stream. Now, as you saw before on Tommy's first live stream...
These fat guys are always causing a comeuppance, you know?
Tommy was very charitable to Max. He stated he liked the filmmaking aspect of his channel, but did not agree with the execution of going after YouTube, because it was a slippery slope. Now, here, Tommy is seeing it happen again in real time, and I think this was a case of fool me once, shame on you. And Tommy was not going to get fooled the second time. He saw right through MamaMax's boastful and cerebral plot armor and knew that it was nothing but a facade. Therefore, Tommy called bullshit on the whole thing for the whole world to see, or for very least the few 500 concurrent viewers that were watching in that very moment. For context, December 28th, 2021, Tommy C was doing a live reaction to MamaMax's Pick a Side video. Tommy had not yet watched the video because he wanted to save his reaction for the moment, but...
yeah, based. Dirty pre-watching is a no-no, dude.
He was already critical on Max's approach due to the Pick a Side narrative. Within 5 minutes of the stream going live, Max attempts to join to talk to Tommy, but Tommy refuses. He was not going to talk to Max without seeing the video first. Tommy...
I mean, that's fair. It makes sense.
Would go on to hammer Max's video. Vito would also join Tommy in criticizing Max's ridiculous execution, harping on how absurd the YouTube protects pedophile narrative actually is. Tommy also points out that Max calling out people like Charlie, Susan, and Phil in an attempt to scare them is just that, a scare tactic. The best part, though, is when Tommy finds out that he's featured in this video, only to go on one of the most underrated rants in streaming.
Oh, is that why MamaMax is trying to get ahead of him so that he didn't have to see the meanie bobini words he said about him?
History.
I get in here. Unfucking believable. You know what? You know what that tells me? He didn't send me the fucking DM because he knew I would fucking see right through it. He knew I would see through it. He knew I would expose him, and he figured putting me at the end. This is a threat. This is a fucking threat. Hey, jerk off. Go fuck yourself. You're a fucking liar. You're a piece of shit. You're not a journalist. You don't give a. You're a clout chasing just another YouTuber. You're no different than anybody else. You don't give a rat's ass, and you can suck my dick.
Does he show his dick? That's probably not the most appropriate question to ask at this time, huh?
There you go. I couldn't count on Tommy C keeping his mouth shut. You're damn fucking right. That's the only goddamn thing you did right, you cocksucker. There you go.
Is that Max pretending to laugh in the background with or vocal fry laugh?
He's trying to strong arm you into not making
Yeah,
any
yeah,
videos
fuck
about
you! Fuck you! How about this? How about this? How about look at the camera? You know what? You look like a creepy pedophile. I don't know that for a fact, but it looks like you with the blood in your mouth and the fucking deep voice. Maybe you touched the kid or two. I don't know that for a fact. I'm just saying.
Oh my god.
You cocksucker! You did that shit to me!
Wow.
I'll do it to fucking you jerk off! That's what it is, wannabe
What is this guy from? Is he from fucking New York? What the
piece of shit! You don't give a shit about kids! I actually have to! Is anybody fucking you to make one? I bet they can't! Who can fucking deal with this shit? You phony, you fraud, you fake!
This is actually very funny.
Suck a
Did you pick a
dick!
side though? You gotta pick a side.
Pick a side! How about this? The side of my nuts! Get down on your hands and knees and lick my fucking hairy Irish balls!
Oh, there you go. Okay.
So after this whole narrative breaks, MamaMax would continue to go on a publicity tour.
Maybe Pennsylvania? Does that sound right? New Jersey? That makes perfect sense, yeah.
On different podcasts, addressing the criticisms and pretty much conceding to the fact that he was being incredibly hyperbolic with his narrative so he could get YouTube's attention.
And as far as I'm able to tell, that those exist to like get the video viral, right?
For the most part, I'd say so.
My honest question, again, I'm going to say, like, why does Max keeping interacting with, like, these, with people like this? Again, I'm like them too, like a smaller channel that nobody necessarily cares about. Why does he continuously talk to, like, commentary YouTubers? It's that I feel like he would avoid all these problems if he just didn't talk to commentary YouTubers. Like, he could still be the same dumb piece of shit and not talk to people, not give them the attention, because nobody really engages with, like, people like myself. I'm in the same category. So, like, you could just not talk to them and you wouldn't have to worry about this whole thing blowing up. But he keeps talking to people, and that's how it gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. I just don't really understand what's the motivation of doing this. It just seems dumb as fuck. He could have just ignored it, and it probably, for the most, I think, would have mostly just gone away.
It's weird. So if your goal is to make like a message,
He's probably just sensitive. Maybe he just can't handle anybody criticizing him.
that can reflect back and like actually produce real change on YouTube, why would you go with such like an inflammatory hashtag? I don't know, for people who haven't seen it, which is like next to nobody. It's pick a side YouTube. Children are pedophiles.
Yeah. So I don't think my video is going to fucking do anything. I want the people I call out in the video to do something, because they're the ones YouTube is going to listen to. They ain't going to listen to fucking me.
So you think your video is like the first in a domino effect?
I was thinking that exact thing. Yes, it was like a domino effect. I'm just trying to get the ball rolling, and I feel like no one's going to fucking
Why does he sound so excited about this?
care unless I make it this bombastic, stupid ass
Oh, he's trying to send a message and help children. Of course, yeah, you're right.
thing. So
Wait, okay, I wasn't expecting that answer.
In fact, he would specifically use the word bombastic.
I think that he should just help these kids by having them move in with him, like he had that one girl that's supposedly groomed by a vampire survivor. The game we're playing. You know, because that's not weird. It's not weird to have somebody that's a supposed victim move into with you. Although they're childhood best friends, I think, right? So
Max proclaimed that this video was made to fuel the fire and was a polarizing attempt to create as much attention as possible. Max also revealed he was conditioned to do stuff like this because YouTube doesn't care unless someone makes that much of an uproar. It should also be noted that the people Max listed that he wished would talk about it did actually speak out. For a second time, Moist Critical would talk about MamaMax as he...
Pussy. This guy holds like a fucking chair, dude. Come on.
He would upload a video.
Don't give this cringe lord attention.
Expressing his disdain for pedophiles while speaking out about how Max is getting the short end of the stick from YouTube. However, Charlie would convey that he was completely against Max's approach and believed that the execution allowed Max's actual message to be distorted. Max apparently would get in contact with YouTube and would receive a YouTube partner manager. He would also
Whoa! I mean, yeah, don't you get that once you have enough people? They offered me one like 4 times on my other channel before I reset. I never took it though, and I don't know why.
Upload a second version of his video that would just be a re-edit like before, and he'd go back to making content. But you see, Max was not finished with Tommy C or any of his other detractors. He had something planned, but before he could accomplish this, he was hit with a...
He was going to send them kids and see if they would pedo them, and then he was going to cancel them. I fucking knew it, though.
Massive roadblock, because Max was about to have a very busy 2022, as his past was about to unravel. And let's just say, the hunter was about to become the hunted. Okay, before we
very poetic.
Get onto the MamaMax allegations, let's talk about who's helped with this video. One, my writer, Matt Pitt, thank you for all the work you've done. Let's see. There's also the Unseen.
I feel like I've heard that guy's name before, no?
Who did a lot of...
I've never seen that person before. Get it?
Research help with Matt. Not to mention Nicholas the Oreo and Mudahar, some ordinary gamers who have been primary liaisons in this whole story and all of that. And there's so much to it. Just keep going on and on and on and on and on and on and on. What's the YouTube?
Except for me, guys. I was there right at the beginning, right with Tommy C. I was very active. I also would like the credit for existing, guys.
Drama without allegations. Am I right, guys? So remember when I had talked about the women, right? And Max's Life Sucks series? Well, these would all come back into the fold. And here we are.
I remember watching that. I do not remember the specifics, but I remember coming off at the end of there where MamaMax was kind of a weird guy. That's all I remember. You'd have to go watch it. And then you can remind me what I thought and said, because it was like 2 years ago or a year ago. And I just don't remember things from that long.
Throughout the span of a few years, while MamaMax gained a reputation as being this prolific and artistic pedophile hunter and gathering acclaim throughout social media, he would begin to procure some pushback from people in his personal life after becoming a success behind the scenes. These people were like the ghosts of his past, coming back to haunt him in the shape of his ex-girlfriends. All relationships gone wrong that included a hefty amount of accusations against them. These girls had apparently found each other as they would make their stories public and would begin to network with one another to reveal their stories. The more time that went by, the more women would come forward. Max apparently knew about the collection of his ex-girlfriend and had been very weary of them, mentioning them publicly from time to time, conveying he was being cyberstalked and slandered.
Not since I started doing...
I mean, Max seems like kind of an asshole. So... if some of my exes said, like, yeah, this guy was a real piece of shit when we were dating, and I'm like, yeah, part of that's true. You know, it is what it is, man. You know what I mean? Sometimes you goon too close to the sun, and that's life, brother.
You know, hunting, except for one, and it was about cyber stalkers. It was about...
But I was never accused of anything like fucking Max. Like, that's a weirdo.
The people...
I mean, he's really just like a starving artist, so...
About some of my exes, and then among other people.
Don't reject his art, though. Last time we rejected somebody's art, they ended up doing some bad stuff in the 1940s, so...
People, like, who were stalking me and trying to, like, make a coup to like cancel me, and so it was gonna be a video all about that.
You said you wonder what MamaMax would look like if he was black or Asian. Yeah, true.
But I asked everyone, like, I took a poll in my community post. I think I've posted this before. Like, should I make a video on this? And everyone said yes, like overwhelmingly.
Your fans said that you should make a video on something? Holy fuck, who would have thought?
But at the end of the day, I was like, maybe it's a better idea if I just let them do what they want and just deal with it if it ever comes to light. So that way I'm not being the bad guy by like starting shit with them, and they can say what they want and I will respond to it. And I think it's better that way. That way I can tell the full story. Because I have receipts, I have pictures, I have everything.
So this wasn't something that came out of nowhere for him.
Anything hot or?
He knew it was coming. It was more than prepared to defend himself. Now, I'm not going to go super in-depth with the accusations, but I will simplify everything for each girl that has publicly come forward. Paulina was one of MamaMax's more recent girlfriends within that time period. In fact, she worked with him behind the scenes on his videos, using her voice to bait pedos into conversations as she pretended to be a minor. You can even hear her voice on a few of Max's uploads. She would call out MamaMax on her Instagram stories, stating that he did not care about her safety and would ridicule her behind her back with other friends. She also stated that Max was too distracted with his videos to
I feel like if you date someone like Max, you know, you got to expect him to be a real piece of shit scumbag, right?
show her any attention, even when she begged. And Paulina would also allege that Max...
I mean, Max is the same thing as like those fucking... As a person, like, Max is the same as a guy that you'll date who's like, I'm really just starting my rap career, except he likes to do cringe instead of rap. Well, I guess the rap that they do is cringe, but you understand what I'm saying, right?
Max gave out all of her information to his new girlfriend, who was reportedly a vicious person that had a history of harassing people. Lucy is a Tasmanian and began dating Max in 2016, the relationship lasting until 2018. She would state that she had begun dating Max when she was only 17 years old, and also claimed that Max had lied about his age to make it seem like he was younger, claiming that he was an 18-year-old when he was actually 20. Lucy would reveal that...
I mean, 17, 20 is not really a big deal, I don't care.
Allegedly, nudes were exchanged between the two while Lucy was still a minor, and she would also go on to accuse Max of sexual assault during an incident in 2017, in which the 19-year-old Lucy had flown to Texas to visit him. Max admittedly made a video on her back in the day called Life Sucks, Depression, to which he would later claim that this activated her and she had begun hurling accusations towards him ever since.
Okay, so just to be clear, like he made a video about his girlfriend? Why? Why are you making videos about people? Why are you doing? It's just weird. It's keep some stuff to yourself. Like, you don't have to make a video about every fucking sad thing that happened in your life. That's bizarre. You know, like, oh, my girlfriend wronged me. Let me make a video about it. Why? They don't have a platform to do that either. You know, you just shouldn't really be doing that. I mean, if they say something, I guess, about you first, whatever. But, like, it's just bizarre when people do shit like that.
Olivia would continuously go
exposing my ex-girlfriend right now.
Public about her accusations on
#emotional
TikTok. She claimed that Max was extremely abusive towards her, flinging objects at her while in an argument, and guilt-tripping.
I mean, I believe all of it. He seems like the kind of guy, but whatever.
her into sex. And she also stated that Max was emotionally manipulative, proclaiming that he had said she...
You think the guy that... Are you saying the guy that hides behind pedophilia like a shield is emotionally manipulative? I fucking would have never guessed that. Are you kidding me, dude? There's no way! There's no way. This guy seems like a stand-up guy.
Killed his unborn children after Max claimed she cheated on him because they would talk about having children in the past, and her cheating meant that they would no longer have children together. Therefore, the non-existent children were murdered. The most egregious accusation, however, is that at one point Max allegedly had his way with her while she slept. It is to note that Olivia would later say she did give permission for Max to do this, but would later take it back and say she wasn't into it, in which Max would not take her seriously when she took it back. On April 14th, 2022, some of the accusations would come to light on social media when Twitter user @Volpereza would also claim to be a close friend to Paulina and would make a Twitter thread broadcasting Paulina's accusations to the world. Soon, other accusers would join in on Twitter. Some of the smaller commentary channels would report on accusations such as these, as this all mainly orbited the smaller community, and it didn't really get picked up by bigger channels. Eventually, a small YouTuber would step in to defend MamaMax. The smaller YouTuber in this context would be Craig Beckett.
Absolutely no one should have picked up this story as is, and even
Is this the guy that like talked to a 17-year-old or something when he was like 90? Like, this guy's a weirdo,
the
right?
idea that this could have possibly even been remotely legitimate.
But technically it was legal in his state or whatever. It's fucking weird that it would be. We really got to baseline the age of consent to like 18, maybe even higher, bro. We got to get there.
But they did.
We got to get there,
MamaMax
guys.
exposed huge allegations.
We got to get there.
I try and limit the amount of punching down I do because yes, we all end up taking on stupid topics on our way up, and I'm sure I'm going to have more than a few myself in the future.
Craig Beckett was an up-and-coming British commentary channel who latched onto MamaMax's story when the accusations began to unfold. He had a lot of questions for the accusers and conveyed trepidation towards their story, as at that point there was basically zero evidence except testimonial screenshots, nothing else. Beckett would produce a video that was over an hour and a half long in April of 2022.
Hey, listen, if Russell Brand can get away with it, so can Craig Beckett, guys.
Going over the accusers' stories as well as a testimony from MamaMax's side. In the video, Beckett basically attacked the accusers for their lack of evidence, as well as criticized smaller commentary channels for covering the one-sided story without looking into it more. The video included an interview from MamaMax himself, which I believe would be the first time MamaMax would speak publicly out in detail about these allegations. In the interview, he would dissect all of the accusations that were presented to him by Craig Beckett. For Olivia, he would go on to give his side of the story, as well as unveil an audio recording of Olivia talking freely to Max post-relationship about their past. In this snippet, Olivia seemed comfortable and relaxed, and even joked with Max.
She was playing the game.
Correct.
She was playing the game as much as you were at the time.
Correct.
Right. Okay.
Well, what does it matter if she was having like a nice conversation with you after? It doesn't mean that something fucked up didn't happen. People process information differently. It takes them a while to get there.
I think that was all of the questions I saw in her accusations against you, unless there were other ones that I've missed. Is there something else that she's tried to accuse you of? May I ask?
Well, Craig, let me show you this Google Drive.
Well, Craig.
You notice 3 names. Let me know when you have it open.
I do, yes, I see the names.
Okay, so since we're on Olivia right now, I would like you to open Ollie Wang, and I would like you to listen to the recording. You can play it for your audience if you want.
I broke up with you literally because you were boring, to say the least. We never hung out. We never did anything. We never saw each other. Even though we lived together, we never did anything. I was bored as shit.
Yeah. I guess it was just the wrong time for me.
Okay.
Or maybe we just were never supposed to be together.
I mean, that too.
Okay.
Why all the weird accusations though? Like
Because I'm so tired of seeing these fucking 13-year-olds making fan edits. My ex-boyfriend who made me go fucking crazy because he was fucking crazy.
So you're being spiteful.
Yeah, sure.
I'm being mad. What if I told the internet you tried to kill me?
Did I try to kill you?
Mm-hmm.
Did I try to kill you?
No.
If it got to the point where people are like, "Can you respond to this, Max?" Then I would be like, "It's not true."
For Lucy, Max claimed that she was 18 when they started talking to each other, and that if she was 17 then, and it was only a 3-year age difference. He also originally lied about his age to avoid being doxxed, and stated that when they began dating, he told her his real age. Max would also be very critical of Paulina's accusations, as he claimed that he had numerous amounts of screenshots that proved the exact
super chatted $5. First time being here on a stream. Here's some money.
Okay, thank you.
opposite, and that Max was very understanding of her and tried his best to be there for her. He also said he nor his team had ever doxed her, and that she had doxed herself, and he and his team.
Well, I mean, he has a history of doxing people, so I woun't doubt that he actually did dox them. I don't even think he knows what doxing is. I mean, didn't he say technically releasing somebody's full name isn't doxing when he did that to that girl, right? The mom of the vampire hunter. Trying to fucking harass people for information over this guy who's supposedly a pedophile because when he was 18, he, I don't know, convinced a 16-year-old he had magical vampire werewolf powers and got her to leave her house. I don't even know what the fuck the story is at this point.
and tried to help her through it. From Max's perspective, the relationship ended when Max would allow Paulina to see his DMs. But when Max asked to see her, she refused, and he ended it then and there. When Craig's video was uploaded, the accusers took to Twitter to defend themselves. Craig's video was at first considered to be a hit, and it was well received, but Craig would throw this all away when he decided for some reason to pick a fight with the commentary YouTubers Augie RFC and Nicholas Diorio. For some reason, Craig got a little too big for his britches and felt that Nick and Augie should acknowledge him, and went back and forth with him on Twitter, which would transition into a complete
Again, I don't understand why people argue on Twitter. You make no money out of it.
disaster, as Augie and Nick made a mockery of Craig.
And if your argument's like, well, yeah, but guys, arguing on Twitter gets my name out there more. Okay, invest some time into making like clips for TikTok or something. Being a toxic weirdo on Twitter is probably not going to pull in the type of audience that you want. I mean, unless you want a bunch of toxic fucking weirdos.
That was culminated in a spectacular Augie RFC live stream where Augie took the piss out of Craig, made fun of his videos, and
where's Augie? Has he even been making content anymore?
Basically memed on a small YouTuber. Craig, a man who had previously admitted he did not like going on live streams to debate, avoided the confrontation, and Augie and Nick were deemed victorious by the public, especially within the commentary community. Thus, his video at that point seemed to be a failure.
So he tweets at Diorio, right? And he's like, "Dear Oreo." First of all, you know he's a spurred because he says Oreo and then he spells it like the cookie, you know? Like it's like, and he's also throwing like the
because fat, you know what I mean?
Passive aggressive womanly emojis in there, and just it's just terrible. Anyway, he said, "I would tag you, but you have me blocked. I would tag you, but you have me blocked, Nick."
It's been a day.
Literally. It's been coming up a month since this comment.
It's been a month.
Dude, this guy is such a fucking bitch. He's been thinking about this for a fucking month. But what has he been thinking about? He says, "I know you looked into it behind the scenes, and my video has been out for over a week. Going to say anything yet?"
Look at this.
Boogie posting his boxing fight. Imagine Boogie commits to this and gets healthier than Diorio. Meanwhile, he's a complete total fast. We got a fat person alert. Fat person. You're fucking fat, dude.
You gotta be kidding me, bro. This guy's
Really?
a fucking lol cow.
Why is he
He's
randomly
a fucking
thinking about you,
lol cow.
too? You know what I mean? Like, why is he just randomly like, oh, I wonder if the Oreo is gonna get skinny soon. It's like, dude, you're such a fucking spurg. Why are you thinking about this right now?
This would not be the last we would see of Craig Beckett either. Max would continue to do interviews on other channels. Some of them were obviously biased as they were fans of Max, and their channel was basically a carbon copy of MamaMax's, same editing style, etc. But
There's carbon copies of MamaMax's content that people consume? There's no fucking way. What? What is it?
after things were quiet for a bit, that's
so
when the allegations resurfaced once again, but this time in a MamaMax exposed video. On July 23rd, 2022, a video would be uploaded exposing MamaMax as most of the women from before would appear again to tell their side of the story. But there was someone new, an accuser that went even further back than any of the other girlfriends. An accuser
mom
that never even dated Max, but actually dated the uploader of the exposed video, Magnetar, aka Anthony. You see,
Yeah, right. That's the guy who's Max called a pedophile because he might have sent his dick pic to a 15-year-old when he was 18. Which, like, yeah, inappropriate, but not pedophilia, so...
Magnetar, MamaMax, and a new accuser
Not
named
predatory
Haley.
either.
They go way back. Back in high school, during Max's senior year, he befriended a young woman named Haley, to which he developed a close bond with. They never dated, and unfortunately for Max, he was deep within the friend zone. But nonetheless,
Man,
Max would
who would've
secretly lust
thought?
for her. Max, in fact, was incredibly attached to Haley. As they graduated together, Max would unveil his secret plan to win over his crush. You see, it wasn't just his videos that were annoyingly pretentious and cringe-inducing, but even at a young age,
See, he was going to do like in Revenge of the Nerds where he would wear a costume and then rape the girl, and then the audience would be like, wow, this was actually okay. And that's the 1980s for you. That's what that would have been.
he did things that were incredibly weird.
I met Max in 2012, 2013 while in high school. We were coworkers at a local movie theater in Wiley, Texas called B&B Theaters. We didn't really speak that much while working there, but he was good friends with most of my coworkers, but he only worked there for a short period of time. We were classmates in a forensic science class our senior year in 2013, 2014.
For example, Max would continuously tell Haley that he wanted to be a firefighter or a fireman. That was his passion. That was what he wanted to do after high school.
Doubtful.
He was committed to it. But you see, Max had no intentions of putting out fires, unless
He just wanted to hose her fire down with his vampire cock.
you're talking about the fires in his real life. The term firefighter or fireman was actually code word for him wanting to be a rapper, because
What?
he wanted to spit hot flames.
Something that
Is this real? Did I guess it? Did I guess that he wanted to be a fucking rapper? Did I call it before when I said that he was like that rapper? Like a rapper guy that wants to do rap but is like a fucking loser? And dates like what?
I used to do a lot is rap.
Oh, really?
And
Oh, no shit.
I-
Oh, my God. No shit.
Yes.
Really?
I won't do it now. Maybe like
Oh.
Wow.
You start
I'm good. Okay. I'll take the W on this one, guys.
started it.
maybe
I guessed that one.
maybe next time.
Hey guys, I wanted to be a rapper.
I prided myself on being a rapper.
Really?
And I felt like I did pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, rap is really just a form of poetry, guys. Straight fire.
That's
awesome.
cool.
After graduation,
That's not cool at all. Why would you even say that?
during the summer of 2014, Max would give Haley a notebook that he explained was the reasoning behind the firefighter code word. Haley would read what was his notebook, and she was shocked to find writings about her and how much he admired her. While he explained in the writings that he absolutely loathed the boyfriend she was dating at the time. Max would allegedly write about how this boyfriend didn't deserve her, and Max even apparently wrote up a whole plan on how he would extract the boyfriend out of the picture. Haley just
Was he gonna kill him?
described Max's writings as thorough and violent, and just the whole thing creeped her out.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Which character do you think looks most like Max? Let's see. I'll look through it. I'll find it.
It was a huge swing and a miss by Mr. Romantic MamaMax. Don't write weird rap diaries to your crush about how you want to kill your boyfriends. It just doesn't work. It just don't do it. Ladies don't like it when you say you're gonna kill their man. Haley would attempt to break away from Max as she began attending the University of North Texas. But Max was unrelenting and continuous as he texted her and tried to stay in touch and wanting to hang out. Haley would try to stay distant from Max, but somehow he found her dorm room and just showed up out of nowhere. MamaMax was no quitter and stayed vigilant, and soon Haley would give in, as after breaking up with her boyfriend, she would respond to one of Max's texts, which allowed them to reconnect. But eventually she would find another boyfriend, and it wasn't Max. It actually was Anthony, aka Magnetar.
Why wouldn't she want to date Max? He's in true love. He was gonna kill his boyfriend for her. Why wouldn't you want to date that guy?
Anthony and Haley had known each other for quite some time. In fact, Haley even went to Anthony for advice on Max, to which Anthony had told her to cut off all contact. But Haley felt sorry for Max and didn't want to hurt his feelings. In October of 2014, Haley alleges that Max set up a meeting between Max's sister and her for networking purposes, which Max's sister had a similar job to what Haley was going to university for. However, this was an apparent ruse. Max's sister was nowhere in sight, as they met in a hotel. It was just him and Haley. This is when things get dark, as Haley alleges that Max had booked a room for them, and this freaked Haley out to the point where she basically froze.
Oh yeah, he apparently touched her or something.
She claimed that every time she tried to leave the hotel room, he'd basically block the doorway and stop her. Haley also claimed,
and he would sit there and he would start rapping at her. He's like, no, stay.
Claimed that she was held against her will for hours and wasn't even allowed to leave to get tampons. She would eventually fall asleep, only to wake up to Max massaging her back and his fingers inside her shorts. 10 a.m. the next morning, she would finally leave, claiming she had to get to class. This was a very peculiar predicament. I'll admit the story does seem weird at points, and yet things would get even weirder, as Max's mental health was obviously not on solid ground, and the foundations were really starting to crack. You see, Max would find out that Anthony and Haley were dating and began to obsessively text Haley. Haley alleges he also tried to show up at work, but eventually Max enlisted into the army and went to basic training in Arizona.
What? Okay.
Arizona. Early one morning, while in basic training,
he went to the army?
Max would text Anthony, as well as tag him on Facebook with the words, "Thanks, Anthony," along with a video of Max cutting himself and attempting suicide. Haley and
Wow, this guy seems like a real class act.
Anthony allegedly had to call the police over this and inform them of the situation, dispatching...
How is this the guy? How is this the guy that's fucking acting like insanely... How is this the guy that is acting so morally righteous when he's like cutting himself and sending it to people? What the fuck? Is that true, or is that just an allegation?
Wellness check to Max, who would obviously survive the suicide attempt. Both Haley and Magnetar would make reports to
he's just built different, am I right?
police about MamaMax's harassment towards her, as well as a report on the hotel room incident. Max would continue to try and get in touch with Haley over the next few years. He would also send an apology to Anthony, though apparently...
Wow, she must have been a real special girl.
Apparently, he would grow aggravated with Anthony after he apparently did not subscribe to his YouTube channel. He would also reference Haley in his videos, even showing her name in a short snippet that goes by so fast, you gotta slow it
Right, he kind of reminds me of like Christian, who's obsessed with that one girl
down to see it.
We didn't hear from Max again until the summer when he wrote me like a 7 or 8 page letter saying how much he regretted joining the military.
I was in the United States Army before I was discharged for attempting to commit suicide.
God, this guy is so loser.
As far as I know, his military career was only a few months long.
Sorry, that was a little insensitive.
And ended with that suicide video, or attempted suicide video. He told me about how he loved me and wished we were together. I didn't respond to it, nor did I keep it. I burned it in my...
Did he like join the army just like hoping that she would think he's a cool guy for being in the army and like leave whatever Magnetar? I think I finally got it right. Was that the whole motivation?
My grandma's backyard, actually.
This is an emotional roller coaster. You know, I like know most of this. It gets rough. Anyway, let's talk about the other ones. The rest of the video is a more detailed version of Olivia and Lucy's stories, which I've already gone through the bullet points, but I gotta admit, their stories do seem a bit off. Paulina's story is absent. Lucy's story is more concise and gets to the point, but nonetheless, not a lot of the evidence shown for all of these hefty accusations, especially for things like sexual assault. And Olivia, well, Olivia's the worst story in this group. She starts it off like she's a YouTuber welcoming viewers to her channel. Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm gonna be calling MamaMax a rapist. I can't include that line.
Did she actually say that? That's funny.
Hi guys, my name is Ali Wang, and unfortunately, I am one of Max's exes. How did we meet? So I had a friend, and he doesn't want me
This is so weird.
to say his name, but we had a mutual friend, and then our mutual friend invited me to go hang out with them. And it was me, my brother, my sister, and my friend, and Max, and we all went to Max's apartment. And we met him through a friend, but our mutual friend wasn't friends with him much longer than I was, so he didn't really know him that well himself. Okay. And then, and I never had a boyfriend before. I just turned 18 when we met. I was only a month 18, and I never had a boyfriend before. I never even like held hands with a boy. So and when I had a little crush on
Kind of a
Max,
loser.
he could obviously tell. I mean, like we were
Kind of
hanging
a
out.
loser.
We just started hanging
Yes,
out.
me.
Kind of. I don't know how it really
Just
happened. I don't
saying.
remember how it happened. We just started hanging out because of our mutual friend. And then one day he came over and it was just us two, and we were in his car. And then he kind of just went in for a kiss.
Oh shit.
And then from there, we just hung out a lot.
Listen, I'm not one to start tone policing, but my God, is this whole thing way off. Also, I gotta be honest, Olivia's just a really sussy lady, and I'll get to why later. But that being
A little sussy lady. What?
said, my point is that there wasn't a lot of evidence shown to really expose Max as this disgusting deviant. I'll admit that numerous
Where do you go from there? Like, if you're trying to expose your ex-boyfriend for being a bad guy, like, where do you go from there if you're really trying to make a name for yourself? I don't really understand that. You know, that's your first. Hey guys, I'm gonna make a video about exposing MamaMax, and then I want to make. Not that he doesn't deserve to be exposed, but the energy that she was using was like, hey, I'm starting my YouTube channel. Like, where do you go from there? What do you think that there's going to be a solid amount of followers? They're like, wow, this is so interesting. Like, I would love to see you squish slime. Like, I don't understand.
girlfriends coming out with stories against him is definitely a cause for concern, especially in his field of video. In fact, the video states that there is a total of 7 women with stories. However, we've seen situations like this before where a collection of women come out with their stories, but a lack of evidence comes off more like angry ex-girlfriends. At the very least, you could chalk it up to Max being a horrible boyfriend, and I think we can agree with
probably.
that. The Haley stuff,
He probably is like a manipulative dickhead.
however, is something that has merit, and even then, the story is pretty crazy with the hotel room. But what gives Haley's story more credibility?
Well, he obviously is based on his videos. So.
Is that some of it was confirmed by MamaMax himself. Now, Magnetar's video on MamaMax would get taken down due to Magnetar showing Max's full docs and driver's license.
Uh-oh,
now,
bad
Magnetar
boy.
argued that he was trying to make a point because Max proclaimed in Craig Beckett's video that anyone could search his name and find no evidence of any such police report. But that was because Max had apparently changed his name. Nonetheless, you can't be going around showing full names and personal information and expect for a video to stay up. So Magnetar would re-edit the video since it's private information and re-upload the video on July 28th, 2022. One day later, on July 29th, 2022, MamaMax would upload his MamaMax's response to the allegations. Okay, so I want to preface this part of the video. Max could easily be lying in it. I would not be shocked if he was. There are points where the dude says stuff like, damn, go off, sis, like 100 times in the video, and it's really annoying.
But damn, go off, sis.
Damn, go off, sister.
Now, that being said, did MamaMax...
I mean, when somebody uses that line, you know they're innocent. You know?
have a reasonable explanation for all...
You know that they're really hip and cool.
of his accusers. To be honest, for the most part, yeah. With Paulina, who was absent from the exposed video, he showed screenshots and evidence of her mental health declining, as well as screenshots that very much were the opposite of what she was accusing him of, and even more screenshots that at the very least show Max was a decent boyfriend to Paulina in that span of time. For Olivia, he again showed a recorded phone call in which Olivia and Max talked, and Olivia did not seem like she was talking to her abuser, but more like she was just talking to an ex-boyfriend, although he only showed a small snippet of the call, which could be taken out of context. In the description, he posted a link to the full call. The call is very standoffish, but...
I think I listened to the whole call, and it was really weird, actually. I think that was like the first video on this channel, actually. Listening to the call, the full call, and I was like, wait, this guy's a fucking weirdo. Let me see. There we go. Sorry. That wasn't even me. Yeah. Oh, this is the Corpse Husband thing. Never mind. Okay. This is an old Clips channel. Okay, I'm stupid. Wait, no, hold on. Okay, keep playing.
In my opinion, Olivia comes off as really weird. For example, Max brings up how they were still broken up. Olivia was sending him nudes. Olivia then denies it, but then says it won't matter anyway because she's naked all the time on the internet, which I'm going to be honest with you, that's a lot of foreshadowing. Again, more to come with Olivia. Stay tuned. At one point during the call, Olivia even asked Max what his astrology sign is. She also made a joke asking for 10K to never talk about Max again, and was frustrated by the fan edits being made about her, which is why she started making TikToks against Max to begin with. When it came to Max taking advantage of Olivia while she was sleeping, it was explained.
Yeah, all right. So the audio we all missed. This is actually on the other old main channel. I forgot about that. Okay. Yeah, I guess there was something we missed. I'll put this in the sources and for this video if you wanted to take a look at it.
The call that this was a consensual act in which Max would have permission to wake up Olivia with sex. And there was a safe word and everything. For the record, Olivia did not remember a safe word, but did remember the phrase. I'm going to read that quote. Okay.
Valar Morghulis. That was the phrase, guys.
Okay, I'm about to read that. Okay, Olivia did not remember.
Yeah, I mean, it's not unheard of to have fuck your spouse or their partner when they're sleeping. It's okay.
Safe word, but did remember the phrase, quote, "Are we going to be rapey or romantic?" Max also...
Whatever, that's kind of whatever.
We're told that Olivia would tell him to stop, and that she was too tired. Max would obey.
Oh, well, if she says stop, you have to stop.
Obey and cease the action. Then the next morning, Olivia would be annoyed that Max didn't keep going. Again, for the record, Olivia does not remember saying that. In the call, Max would tell Olivia that if she wants to keep making TikToks about him, that it's her freedom of speech to do so. To which Olivia replied with a joke about taking it too far and saying that Max tried to kill her. And
Olivia man aka Dust IE Shells super chatted $1.99. 10th time viewer, first time watcher, folded hands.
Incredible stuff, brother. Thank you.
He is definitely a trustworthy source.
All right,
Mama
fuck
Max
this
then
game.
goes on into another accuser named Sarah, who did not come out publicly in the video, and is someone I don't know much about. But regardless, Max accused her of rape. Oh, Jesus. This is 67 pages. Diesel, this is 67 pages. For Lucy, Max claimed that Lucy lied about her age and that when they met, she was only 2 months away from turning 18. He also points out that the age of consent in Texas and Tasmania is both 17. Max also stated that he did not sexually assault Lucy and that they stayed together for 4 more months after she got back home, to which he would then break up with her. Again, all of this is he said, she said. But now we get to the main event, Haley. And now with this one, there's a huge twist. So Max concedes to obsessing over Haley in high school and while in the military. Max explained that he ceased all communication with Haley after his apology to Anthony, but that the aggressors in the situation were actually Magnetar and Haley, as they were the ones trying to put out a video and collect information while Max had simply avoided communication. He then goes out to point out that Haley, although did not reciprocate his feelings for her. So Max concedes to obsessing over Haley in high school and while in the military. Max explained that he ceased all communication with Haley after his apology to Anthony, but the aggressors in the situation were actually Magnetar and Haley, as they were the ones trying to put out a video and collect information while Max had simply avoided communication.
Haley is not one of my exes. Haley has never abused me. Haley is a young woman that I fell for in high school and that I obsessed over during my time in the military.
Wow, this is so level-headed. Imagine all of his content was like this.
This is when I was 18. I made decisions that I obviously regret. But with that said, Haley is painting a very different picture of our relationship together during these times to make me look more like a creep, obviously. That is
Maybe, or maybe you were really a creep, and you just didn't realize it, or maybe that's just how she felt, really creeped out. Who knows?
always the name of the game with them, I guess.
He then goes out to point out that Haley, although did not reciprocate his feelings for her, should be more inclined for Max's attention when she was on the outs with her boyfriend. Max then goes into his whole notebook ordeal and proclaims that he did not write anything aggressive towards the boyfriend, but was actually talking about a man who had allegedly abused Haley, that Haley had confided to Max about. This apparently was who he was talking about in the notebook. Also, he decided to actually dox
the movie?
The alleged person. Yeah, he just put the full name and pic.
Why does he keep doing that? Why does he keep doxing people? He has to stop getting. He has to stop getting away with this.
Right in there. Max again conceded that Haley was distant before she went to university, but at one point they hung out and cuddled together in bed. He also conveyed that he did not find her dorm and that Haley had given him the address. In a nutshell, Max explained that he was very.
Guys, don't cuddle with a person unless they're gonna fuck you. Okay? Don't be giving them that good cuddle unless they're gonna also let you give them a puddle. That would be if you're a girl. Because you'd be the one that would get the puddle. Although I guess you could make it. Yeah, we're getting too into this, but the point still stands. Don't cuddle with people. It's cringe.
Obsessed with
Unless you're like asexual or something. Then you're weird. But also I respect it.
Haley, but that there were times where she actually liked that about him. Maybe he was insinuating that it appealed to her ego, but he also stated that there were times where she would outright chastise Max for being like this, which I believe is Max trying to explain that Haley was sending out mixed signals, because saying that Haley was wishy-washy and that this confused this
typical woman. Am I right, guys? That's why we have to hate all women.
this wonderfully,
because it just leads you on all the time. I'm going red pill now. Fuck it.
Just autistic YouTuber. I'd be lying if I said, man, with these internet boys, with these internet YouTubers, be straightforward with them, okay? Don't send mixed signals. They can't read them. Look at MamaMax. You think
I feel like that's with any person, boy, in school, or any person, mixed signal.
He's a guy who deals in the
Dude, not L-take. Why would you cuddle with somebody who's not going to have sex with you? What are you talking about, L-take? Get the fuck out of here. What are you, 5?
gray zone? No, he sees the world in a very chaotic way. You need to be very clear. That I can see.
What do you cuddle everybody? You weirdo.
His brain, it functions on a different level, a stupid one. Anyway, when it came to the hotel room, Max explained that everything was consensual. Haley was not afraid for her life or scared, and she could have left at any time, and that they actually did leave to get tampons.
It's more of a girl thing. Like, don't cuddle with a girl that's friend zoned you unless she's gonna fuck you. You know what I mean? Because you gotta put your bone in there.
Max revealed that the two flirted with each other and cuddled together in the bed, that nothing uncomfortable had happened. Max would continue to dissect Haley's testimony, claiming,
why would she even cuddle with him in the first place? Weird.
She had dates wrong, mixed up situations, and very much alluded to her either misremembering or twisting the narrative to paint Max in the worst light possible.
Damn, she was actually the liar, dude. Fuck.
Suicide attempt, and sending Anthony the footage of it, which by all means truly paints Max as an unhinged person in the moment. Max then tries to paint Magnetar in a selfish light, as in Haley's video, he portrayed as a caring person who called in a wellness check when he sent the imagery of Max's attempting suicide, but in Max's video, Max would show screenshots of Magnetar completely freaking out and basically telling Max to never contact him or Haley again, which honestly is a reasonable reaction to being sent a guy who's obsessed with your girlfriend saying I'm gonna do it. It's not really unreasonable for him to act that way. Okay, but
well, yeah, of course, I get that.
We're not done, because there is a really interesting moment in this video.
It better be fucking interesting. All right.
Because Max has a special part for the uploader of the exposed video. Magnetar, Anthony, aka Haley's boyfriend.
Oh yeah, he pretends he's a pedophile.
Aka the man Max hated with a passion because he was dating Haley. Max would bring out testimony from his sister to show that Max was decent to all the women that had exposed him, as well as giving testimony to Haley.
Oh my god, the sister said he was a good guy? Dude, no sister in the history of the universe has ever thought that their brother is a good guy.
And Max seemed to be very close and confirmed they would cuddle together in his room. But also, this sister would bring up Anthony as well and claim that there were some serious allegations against him. Yes, at the end of this Mama Max video, Max pulls an Uno reverse card on Magnetar and proclaims that Anthony Magnetar is actually the pedo.
Anyone who knows Max in high school, he was a nice guy to everyone. He was nice to everyone.
Yeah, he was nice to everybody. Everybody that knows him. My brother's a good guy.
Let alone Haley, his friend, and she definitely was not kidnapped.
Then why does Anthony hate me?
Am I allowed to say why?
Anthony Field, Haley's boyfriend, Magnetar on YouTube, the one who published this video on me.
This guy's a fucking joke. I don't think I would be able to live with myself if I made content like this.
He then shows screenshots from an anonymous source proclaiming that Anthony would send nudes and other sexual videos to her while she was underage. None of this can be confirmed except by Max's sister. So there's nothing concrete here, just testimony. But it seems more like whether the accusation is true or not, Max is giving Anthony a little taste of his own medicine. It shows how vindictive Max can be, and from what I understand, this wasn't the first time Max had threatened these accusations. He had these in his back pocket for a while. Max would expose Anthony's full name, his face, and also alludes to other accusers.
Yeah, this is going on for a while. Why would you hold on to this?
Against him. This could be a way for Max to get Anthony and Haley to stop talking about him, or the allegations could be completely bullshit. I mean, honestly, with this, who fucking knows? So Max came back swinging with his own video, and the man, it was a hell of a counter. Now, things are about to get even more complicated as the timeline's going to jump all over the place, so you're going to need to bear with me here. So first and foremost, MamaMax in his description for his videos defending him, but thank a few people, including Craig Beckett and Angry Slug. All right, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on Angry
Slug? Who the fuck's that?
Slug, but he's a clout demon, okay? He's a self-confessed doxer who at one point was able to slip into Chris Hansen's good graces when trying to expose Onision. He was then exposed of being just an absolute complete retard, making false allegations that Nicholas Theorio was in the KKK after being trolled by Aiden Projects, who I think was...
I believe it. Was
a child at the time. He also threatened to strike one of Augie's videos and attempted to debate Augie on a live stream, only to run away and claim that his power was out. It would later be revealed that he was lying about this. Slug is a socially inept doofus who tries to suck up to any clout he can possibly find. He's been a nuisance to the commentary community for quite some time, and he never goes away.
I mean, if you're a nuisance to the commentary community, that's saying something.
Wait, he's like a cockroach. He's always...
You're a nuisance to the nuisance community? I am a nuisance too, by the way. This isn't some kind of a moral prescription I'm free from.
He's been there. The commentary community could dissolve in flames.
Although I like to call myself a gooner.
And Slug would still be there, falsely accusing randos of being pedophiles. Now, when it came out that Slug was not only thanked in Max's videos, but was part of the pedo hunting team, people began to relay to Max what Slug was all about. And eventually, he was taken off the team. But Slug would eventually return, and of course, we're going to get to that.
Not Slug.
Now, this would happen a month later after the MamaMax video had been uploaded, but the book on Beckett was officially closed when it was revealed that he had been sexting a 17-year-old while Beckett was in his late 20s.
Oh,
not only that, it was revealed that when they had begun talking, she was actually only 16. Now, the accuser...
Damn, I didn't know that part. What the fuck?
...and Craig are both British, and in the country of England, it is illegal to have sex with a 17-year-old. However, the two did exchange nudes, which included an alleged cum tribute from Mr. Beckett himself.
Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to laugh.
Which is, of course, illegal.
Craig sent me a video.
That does sound illegal, yeah. Go to the authorities, guys. Go to the authorities. A cum tribute.
Of him to a photo of me. Here's the screenshot from my Twitter data that shows he did in fact send me a video. Evidence of a video being sent. Here's Emmy saying to Craig, someone really wants to see them. He says maybe.
What happened to this Craig guy? Did he just stop making content?
Winky face. She warns him that she is fully undressed. To which he says, I will prepare my raging... read the screen there.
I will prepare my anus.
Really important point. I don't feel like enough people have stressed this enough during this situation. But not only did Craig break the law, but throughout the duration of the time that he spoke to this young girl, he encouraged her to break the law. Here he says, good, but enjoy yourself.
Sounds like partners in crime, am I right, guys?
Take plenty of pics and videos.
And yeah, he was done for after that, disappearing from the internet, never to be heard from again. In fact, the last we ever heard of Craig is when his former ally, MamaMax, got a hold of him and tweeted out a picture of Craig Beckett with the word prey written on his forehead. And that's prey as in like the thing predators eat, rather than like prey as in Jesus. And then Max would later come out with a music video called Prey, so it was possible that...
Well, I mean, you eat the body of Jesus Christ. So
Max was using Craig Beckett.
He really is the prey.
To plug his song. He would also express his frustration with befriending Craig Beckett on a live stream. And just to be fair, the one who exposed all of this about Craig Beckett was Angry Slug, broken clock right twice a day.
Damn,
all right, this is going to be a good one. Okay, so here's another side note I got to mention real quick. It's about Edwin's generation.
Okay. That's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
He's a commentary YouTuber who's known for making videos on hashtag MeToo scandals like Diane Antwoord, Marilyn Manson, Onision, Davi Vanity.
Didn't his friend drink pee or something?
And Edwin had his eyes set on possibly making a video on MamaMax. And the whole thing kind of blew up in his face. Edwin took up the mantle for MamaMax detractors and accusers. He would frequently do live streams criticizing MamaMax as well as interviewing the accusers and platforming them so they could tell their story. He was committed to researching for a video on his channel and even at one point had a conversation with Max himself. However, everything would fall apart later on when a massive drama imploded involving the Keemstar show and Edwin's...
What the fuck kind of question is that? Papa Gut, you absolutely don't have to answer this, but has anyone ever asked you for a vid of you busting? Just wondering if they're normal or if I was dating a freak. What are you talking about? My wife asks me that sometimes. Like, I'll send her that stuff. She likes it. I have a good, healthy. Our doctor says I'm the sperminator. So take that with how you will.
This generation, among others. Now, I'm not going to go into it, but basically it led Edwin to getting fully canceled, and with that, Olivia also threw salt on the wound when she would come out with her own expose on Edwin. So the story goes that Edwin would have Olivia on multiple times to tell her side of the story, but behind the scenes, Edwin and Olivia would start to grow closer, and sometimes...
Why people make content like this, like trying to cancel people? Like, I just talk about stuff, just sit there, talk about, just fucking fart around, Why does everything got to be so serious all the goddamn time?
The fall of 2022, Edwin had realized the two of them had began to have more sexually charged conversations and became flirty with one another. He could not continue his video on MamaMax because it would be a conflict of interest and would prove an inherent bias. So the video was dropped altogether later after Edwin was exposed on the Keemstar show for something that would take hours to explain. Wouldn't you guys like to know?
It better be that funny for you to laugh like that.
Oh, God. Olivia would come out and say that Edwin had, well, fulfilled himself to her while they were on a video.
I'm not like 100% sure of what actually happened there. I don't think I'm that curious. Has anybody ever made a video about it?
Cool. To say
comprehensive? Like the rise and fall of Edwin's generations?
Just to say everything. And the call with Edwin where he got funky, Is
this person acoustic? What's happening here?
To be fair, I was drunk and I was feeling sexy that day, and I was like going on Instagram Live and like getting half naked and calling people, and I did call him on regular FaceTime, and I just very drunk and very felt sexy, so I did.
All right, so you sent him your tits or something. Got it.
Take my shirt off, so
gotcha.
there's that.
The irony that Olivia, one of the original accusers, would be a part of Edwin's downfall was not lost on anyone.
How the fuck am I dying?
It should be noted that Olivia claimed that nothing weird or like rapey happened and that the video call was consensual. She did say to Xylee Gets Real, however, that Edwin talked about
so why do people care about it?
Flying her out while he was still working on the MamaMax story. But I'm going to be 100% honest with you.
Why did this stuff cancel him? Like, this seems like a big, like nothing. Or am I just stupid as fuck?
Olivia is not a reliable narrator, okay? I don't want to badmouth these accusers, but she had no business being up there. She had a bad relationship, that's it. And she has this weird ability to find a spotlight because she's done it multiple times. She even at one point tried to e-date Bo Blacks, another commentary YouTuber. She was literally flirting with all the commentary orbiters. It's really fucking weird. Olivia would also flip-flop back onto Edwin's side when Edwin would try and make his comeback, but when she was invited to do an interview on her side of the story on Edwin's platform, she decided to renege and did not show up. When all this came out, it kind of killed any sort of credibility for the MamaMax detractors, and the story was basically just dead in the water. MamaMax would go on later to say that what happened really sucked, and that he loved most of the women that had stories about him, and that he wanted to start a family with them, but wasn't the greatest boyfriend, and that was a result of mental illnesses from both sides clashing together and creating a vitriolic and toxic environment. The accusers themselves were somewhat left to fester on their own island while Max continued to make content, and oh boy, did he make some content. Okay, recent update. Haley would go on Chud Logic's stream where she refuted Max's claims of everything being consensual and denied cuddling with Max. She stands by her side of the story, and basically Max is capping, according to
what the fuck is going on here?
her. That's not going to be the last update in this video. Okay, so again, timeline is all over the place right now, but let's get back on track because now we got to return to Tommy C. Let me ask you a question, dear viewer. Let's say you're a big YouTuber who hunts pedophiles and you've just been accused of horrible things and had to go make a video defending yourself in an attempt to save your reputation. What would you do next? Well, if your answer was to jump right into another drama with a channel,
I would probably just stop engaging with smaller YouTubers because that only exists because I engage with, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't, you don't need, just don't give them the content
that you completely dwarf. Well, then you'd be right. Max would go back to,
but also thank you for giving me the content,
making content, and would put out another pedophile hunting video. However, he would dictate the first 15 minutes of his video to none other than Tommy C, the man who went on a live stream to verbally defecate all over Max. The funny thing to me is Max would say publicly he hated getting into drama, he couldn't stand it.
He clearly loves getting into drama because he just won't stop doing it.
And did not like doing it.
I do not get sick of covering pedophiles. That's what I have fun doing. I would rather be in my...
Why is it fun to you? I don't get that.
...hole hunting pedophiles. That's what brings me life. I hate...
Why? I feel like nobody enjoys stuff like that. They just, it's like I feel like maybe they think it's a responsibility, but who enjoys that kind of shit? Edwin is just a little cringe in a millennial emo kind of way. Oh, then cancel him.
When I have to do this shit and start stupid-ass drama just to make people give a shit. You know, because when you, especially when you're so fucking pissed off, like you have to hear the screams of children being raped to death.
What? Why do you have to hear that? Why would you ever have to hear that? Are you doing it? I don't understand what he means. Why are you listening to those things? I wouldn't. I would never want to listen to those things. That's why I pay taxes. The police can go do those things. And also, you're not the police, and also, I just don't believe you. I feel like you're just saying that to try to make people feel bad for you. Oh my God, you must be the real victim here. I think it would be those screaming children.
And you have to witness puppies being skinned alive.
Why?
Trying to hobble away like this shit becomes so goddamn easy. Like I don't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah, here he was, fighting a channel with less than 50K subscribers. Not only that, he parodies him, creating his own character in an attempt to mock Tommy C, called Mommy Z.
Actually, you know what? Before we even watch it, let's take a caller. Hi, you're live on the air.
I pick pedophiles.
Wow. Wow. Okay. I absolutely agree. Thank you so much for calling in. So without further ado, let's get right into the video.
Now, this came out of nowhere. Tommy's stream on Max was in December of 2021. The video.
Why does this guy get under his? Why does Tommy C get under his skin so much? I don't understand it. Whoa, I don't get it. I really don't understand.
Video was uploaded in August of 2022. So again, in a video titled, "This is what happened to a child predator on TikTok," Max begins his newest rendition of Find the Pedo by introducing a parody character called Mommy Z, in which he completely reenacts the famous Tommy C livestream, portraying Mommy Z reacting to MamaMax and taking callers. The cope in this intro is just hilarious, especially when you realize that he's spending time on a YouTube channel that averages 300 concurrent viewers a stream. Look,
damn, he's really just fucking digging at Tommy at this point.
Tommy's had a great career. He's a hilarious streamer. He's been around for a long time. You should check him out. But let's be honest, when it comes to relevancy, he's not at the top of the list. Here's MamaMax giving Tommy,
you know, my opinion, who cares about stream views, okay? I'm all about the video views. I mean, I guess it depends on what your product is, right? So
an obscene amount of attention.
Because Tommy's right, maybe. He just seems to be like a fucking crybaby when it comes to criticism.
So, not so bad, right? I mean, he made a funny little skit. Now it's time to get into the actual content and hunt some pedos, right? Max keeps going. Max would then reply to Tommy's clips from his stream, only referring to Tommy with his...
I mean, if his job is so important of hunting pedophiles, I said punting pedophiles, hunting pedophiles, then why would he even give Tommy C the time of day? Isn't his job so important that he needs to focus on that?
Name with the name number 4 blah blah blah, which at the time was Tommy's subscriber count. He would then showcase his intellect by proclaiming that Tommy had fallen into his trap.
Maybe Tommy reminds him of his dad that would always said that he's a shit rapper and sucks at doing movies and he's never going to be able to make it. Maybe that's what it is.
I'm gonna have to upset all of my fellow creators. That was a prediction, and you fell right into it, as predictable as you all are. What I did not foresee, however...
Guys, I was just acting stupid, and you fell for it. Oh, you thought I was actually stupid? Well, who's the idiot now?
Was when you accidentally aligned with actual pedophiles along the way.
Oh,
this is
no.
the most impressive tweet on this so far.
Oh, accidentally. Nothing is an accident.
The only guy with balls, if you ask me. And Vito's got the ball to crack this joke. I pick pedophiles. I pick pedophiles.
Well, then you gave me a choice.
1 week later.
Vito said this: having basic empathy for non-offending pedophiles will ultimately lead to less child abuse. Not offending means that we understand breaking the...
Well, yeah, I know what Vito's talking about. I remember looking at that. Like, yeah, I mean, it's a dumb way to just say, like, hey, we should, the people who are pedophiles who haven't actually molested children, you should give them access to mental health counseling so that you could prevent them from actually doing the bad thing. Yeah, it's like, it's not really a hot take.
Laws is a no-no, all right?
There's nothing quite as poetic as the blind stupidity of the commentary community. And when I confronted these hypocritical little contrarians on their own bullshit, they would not let me speak to them.
Sure. MamaMax is in the chat trying to bait you to bring him on. He's saying, wish we could have talked like adults, man.
Talk like adults? You didn't make a fucking video like a fucking adult. That anybody other than a fucking child could be. I mean, this is literally made for stupid people. Stupid people and...
Oh my. Okay. I didn't know making a video like an adult meant reacting to Twitter drama and screaming at the camera like a whiny little baby.
Max basically said, you activated my trap card. However, the most egregious part of this expose on
What was the trap card?
Tommy is that Max, the pedophile hunter, tries to paint number 46,853 as a man who protects pedophiles. The exact same thing he was trying to do to YouTube. He is doing to a smaller streamer on a channel with an audience committed to hating and hunting pedophiles. There's this cool new term a lot of content creators are using these days, and it's called pedo jacketing. It basically means when someone tries to paint someone as a pedo due to making an edgy joke or an innocent action in an attempt to harm their reputation. Max basically does this to Tommy by explaining that because he had Vito on the show, who Max claims is a pedophile, and Mr. Girl, that this means Tommy is...
Oh, isn't it funny, though? Isn't there an irony on it? Okay, so he thinks... MamaMax thinks that Vito's a pedophile for Vito actually legitimately having a take that reduces... that it engages in harm reduction of children, right? So the reality is if you provide mental health pathways for non-offending pedophiles, people who have the actual DSM-5, not Max's idea of what it is, because he's a fucking idiot that doesn't understand anything. The DSM-5 definition of like what a pedophile is, right? Somebody 16 or older who's had a persistent sexual attraction to a child 13 and under for the period of 6 months or more. That's with over a 5-year age gap or 5-year plus age gap. Providing them mental health services instead of having them repress those feelings and then inevitably rape a child But providing them mental health services will absolutely reduce the amount of harm onto children because you can get ahead of it and you can stop it. If you have the just like kill all people with the thought, then people aren't going to come forward. They're not going to get help and they're going to end up molesting children. Right. So it's not a fun thing to think about, but that's the reality. Like that's actually going to engage in harm reduction. You're going to reduce the amount of harm onto children. Max not understanding that is funny because like he obviously doesn't actually know how to help children. He's just a dumb little fucking baby that's going around virtue signaling about how like, oh my god, I'm listening to children scream and puppy dogs die because I'm a good guy. Or maybe you're just justifying looking at listening to kids scream and fucking puppy dogs getting stomped on because you like it. I don't really know. But you're obviously a dumb fucking little baby that doesn't understand anything. So why are you talking about things? Like what's the point? What's your productive nature? I don't really get it. What are you doing? You don't know anything. You don't engage with anything. Have you like what are you talking about? You're like a fucking child.
Is inherently related to pedophiles and mingles with them. Max basically slanders Vito, which, you know, I gotta be honest, is kind of fair because Vito has said some stupid things, and his name also rhymes with pedo, which makes it really easy.
Oh, true that, dude.
You know, when you're a pedophile hunter on YouTube, might not be a great idea to throw around that title all willy-nilly. People might take you at your word. I mean, especially if you're spending weeks and weeks of research on actual pedophiles. But then you point your finger at edgy comedians who have made some stupid jokes and have done all these dumb things on the internet. Is that really a good idea? In fact, I think Max would agree with me. Later on in his Q&A live streams, he would say this.
Like telling my audience to call people pedophiles. I don't like people throwing around the word pedophile like it doesn't
Clearly you do, because you throw it around like a fucking idiot.
mean anything. I don't like that shit. And if you're doing that, please stop. Like, people can disagree with us. It's okay. Like, that doesn't immediately mean they're a pedophile. And I get why you're doing it. Like, someone says stupid shit on the internet. You want to call them, oh, okay, you're a pedo. I get that. But it's not, we shouldn't just be throwing around the word.
That's what he does all the time. What are you talking about?
It doesn't mean anything. I call someone a pedophile when they are behaving like a pedophile, when they do actions that is indicative of a pedophile, when they talk like a pedophile, and I do not make.
Do you know how all those things work out there, buddy? Like, what are you?
Make a video on them until I have verifiable proof that they are a pedophile.
That's not true. Of course not. You're not even close to true. Get the fuck out of here.
You know, that's why I have these long conversations with Wayne and him talking and him, you know, describing what he wants to do to a 14-year-old girl. That's why I have Zach Haddad do a.
You guys friends? What the fuck's happening here?
Fucking finger thing on his nose, so I know this is the guy that I'm making a video on.
Needless to say, this is a very hazardous activity that is completely irresponsible for a content creator like Max. And if Vito had actual money, it could probably lead to Max being sued into oblivion. Luckily, Vito is poor and relies on Dick Masterson for a paycheck.
Okay.
Speaking of, let's talk about the other one, Mr.
I don't know who any of these characters are.
Girl. Now, Mr. Girl may allegedly be a pedophile. I don't really fucking know. I'm not making a Mr.
Yeah, Mr. Girl's a scumbag. I don't know if he's a pedophile, but he's a scumbag creep. And for the way that he's like talked to Destiny, it's pretty clear to me that he may even be a rapist. He's definitely an abuser. He abuses his own fucking girlfriend, having her come onto camera and like cry for him, you know. I don't know, so kind of like some other YouTuber who did the same thing. Brought his girlfriend on a camera and then forced her to cry for him. Yeah, he's a fucking manipulative piece of shit. He's not really worth the time of day.
Mr. Girl video. Mr. Girl called into Tommy's show for about 15 minutes. That's it.
Please teach me your ways. Washed up commentary channel number 46,853. Anyway.
Who brought him on the channel?
Be a pedophile. I don't really fucking know. I'm not making a Mr. Girl video. Mr. Girl called into Tommy's show for about 15 minutes. That's it.
Okay.
Please teach me your ways. Washed up commentary channel number 46,850.
Oh, 46,800. That's a lot, dude.
3. Anyway, I can see a simple conversation is asking for too much when you're busy inviting more pedophiles onto your show.
Mr. Girl, you're a pedophile.
Whoa.
You're a pedophile. You know, here's the thing about you. Like, I want to like you.
Why would you want to like him?
Because
I already like you.
Oh, that's great.
Well, I can't say it was the wrong choice, because your friends that did end up talking to me, let's just say they did not like the humiliation.
Don't get on tips, sir. Definitely high honor there, I guess.
Yeah, because of this, Tommy is associated with pedophiles? That's completely ridiculous. That's pure cope. I mean, Tommy gave you criticism, albeit it was very visceral, and his verbiage is pretty intense. Nonetheless, it was still criticism. Yet Max wants to pay Tommy in the worst light possible because of it. The best part about this, though, is that throughout this segment on Tommy C, a bunch of QR codes would flash on the screen. When activating these QR codes, a bunch of paragraphs would pop up, which is nothing but Max coping in the worst possible way. So let's look at the funny ones. Hey, shoo, shoo, shoo. It'll be okay, little guy. You don't have to scream. Let's use our inside voices. Hugs you. Nuzzles you. I just added that in. Just tell us what's wrong. Did someone hurt you? Gently rubs your shoulders. What is this, in AO3?
Is porn? What the fuck's happening?
Post. Whoa, hey, simmer down there, buddy. What's with all the hostility? I never said you or anyone else looked like a creepy pedophile, let alone a non-creepy looking pedophile, did I? Is that why you're so mad? Do you think I called you a pedo? Well, I never did. It kisses you on the forehead. There, does that feel better? I feel like you
What is happening? What context did I miss? What the fuck?
can say it without saying it. You know what I mean? Yikes. Can't think of yikes without thinking of tipster. Yikes, why even say something like that? Don't you have 1 or 2 kids? Now hold on there, Turbo. I know you like to take everything I say out of context, but I'm not saying you touched them or anything.
Turbo.
I know you're not a pedophile, and I'm going to say that out loud later so everyone knows. But what I'm getting is that maybe people are calling you a pedophile, not me, because you say and do dumb things sometimes. Yeah, maybe we should think before speaking, shouldn't
I mean, people call everybody pedophiles and groomers nowadays on the internet. Who cares? The word doesn't even mean anything now. No.
we? It's okay, fella. Pats you on the back compassionately. You gain 100 XP from this interaction and 1 skill point in common sense. So incredibly dorky. And I literally run a coffee company that makes D&D themed coffee called Mana Potion Coffee. And you can go to manapotioncoffee.com and use code D10 at checkout to buy our coffee.
Ooh, slick advertisement, brother.
Kisses you on forehead. You gain 1 skill point in common sense. Okay, there's so many here that honestly, I think Max should just fuck Tommy. Max is the bottom, but I think...
Is that what that was? The two of them? I almost died. The two of them having a weird conversation? What the fuck?
We all knew that. He's got a twink death is going to hit him hard. It will hit him hard. Hits him all hard. Not as hard as Tommy's going to hit him from behind. So Max would then later go on to take another victory
Oh, like a sex joke.
lap and proclaim that they did exactly what MamaMax wanted them to do because they talked about the video, therefore it got the word out.
Right. Anytime Max gets criticism or whatever, it was all just a plan in the first place to get more attention onto his very important video.
Wow, MamaMax, you mean the commentary channels actually went and gave commentary on your video? Wow, no way. That's like only thing they do aside from yell about the same 3 arguments all the time.
Okay, kind of true, yeah.
Yeah, they did exactly what I wanted them to do when they decided to talk about my video. Even though they talk about my videos for a living, I made them do this. Like, bruh, come on. Tommy was actually on vacation while this was all going down. Now, I don't know if Max did this on purpose, but if that was the case, well then, holy shit, this guy is terminally online. But I'll show good faith and say it was just a coincidence. Yeah, we'll just say it was good faith and, coincidence. Not to turn Tommy into a victim, because he's not. He's a big boy who deals with this type of shit all the time, but nonetheless, Tommy's live stream on MamaMax, as well as recent streams at the time, would be bombarded by hate comments, proclaiming Tommy as a pedo supporter. This is more than likely due to MamaMax's fan base being who they are. When Tommy returned, though, he refrained from firing back immediately. Tommy decided to wait for the right moment. Well, no, in reality, Tommy wanted to make a video response, but then realized that it would take too much research, so he decided to do a live stream in January of 2023. In the stream, Tommy pointed out how inept MamaMax was, and that he has no business doing this, and also has an obligation to update his community when someone is arrested. He also shows that Max showing information of
yes, all sounds pretty reasonable.
people that aren't pedophiles but are related to them could get them killed.
Actively protecting a known child predator, I would lose not a second of sleep if someone were to do something about him as
You really shouldn't be calling for violence like that.
That could get somebody killed. An innocent person killed. I don't know if he's protecting them or not, and I don't think there's any way to take you seriously. I don't think...
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. You don't know if this person is actually guilty, and you're pretty heavily at least insinuating that somebody should kill that person. That's really fucked up. He should be permanently banned for that. Why would he ever? How did he ever get away with that? What the fuck?
You have any credibility? You won't even name the people you supposedly caught. I don't know if he's protecting his son or not illegally. I know more than likely 99.9% of fathers, if their son came to his dad, I didn't do it, they probably do what they normally would do. That's just what people do. I don't know this guy's situation. I don't know nothing. I know you're not qualified. You can't even handle fucking getting through the army. You're not qualified putting this guy's docs out there.
I don't think anybody's qualified to put docs out there, but yeah, I agree with that. And like, yeah, you'd expect a parent to be more sympathetic to their kid, right? So you can't really fault them for their human nature.
Tommy would then speculate that Max is an egomaniac. And I gotta be honest, I don't think that's much of a stretch. In fact,
I don't think it's a speculation anymore.
In this business, he's probably right on the money. Speaking of money, Tommy showcases MamaMax's Patreon. It has over 2,500 patrons, which means he's making a lot of dough, to which Tommy speculates that Max may be grifting to feed his financial desire. His audience wants Max to hunt pedophiles, so Max is going to hunt pedos, and he's going to make a lot of cash doing it. Then, at the end, Tommy would drop a bomb. You see, a lot of people can criticize Max detractors because they can say he's helping victims, or you're not a victim of SA, grooming, etc. You have no room to talk. On this live stream, Tommy C reveals that he is in fact a victim of child molestation, and points out that he has every right to criticize MamaMax for the way he makes his videos, as well as speculating on it being a possible grift.
I get unbelievably upset when accusations are thrown around when it comes to sexual or criminal or sexual variety. I've always it's been my big thing. Alex, you go through the list. It's the one big thing, and I'm going to tell you exactly why that this is always bothered me so much, and why I switched from comedy and I switched to this particular direction, because I'm a victim of child molestation. I was molested by my babysitter, and I got lucky. I had a couple of drinks.
Was she hot? Is that why you got lucky? Or?
Thanks with my neighbor across the street a couple years later.
That's probably not appropriate for me to say. Sorry. My bad. Kind of just slipped out.
As a teenager, he full-on got raped by the same guy. Neither of us had the balls because we were children to say anything, and by then it was just...
That's why guys can't be babysitters, guys. Sorry. I know it's sexist, but oh well.
Too late. So I get really, really upset when stuff like this happens.
Fucked up.
Don't believe me? Think I'm just saying it? No, Dave knows about it. He's known about it for like 10 years. And he's one of my closest army buddies. And if you want to sit there and deny me, which I don't care, say that I'm making this shit up, why would a guy like me running a comedy show just open him up to some of the most offensive, which I fully expect, pedo jokes that I'm going to get? I don't care. I care more about people not taking you seriously than making fun of me getting molested as a kid. A lot more. I'm 46 years old. I'm pretty confident in my sexuality. It's really not a big deal. And who knows? Maybe like Matt's leg, there'll be a few funny jokes in there.
Tommy would continue to receive hate by MamaMax fans as they would flood his live streams on Max as well as his clipped video. Max would go quiet, and he wouldn't respond publicly except for one of those statements that he made in the Q&A live stream. Max would just go back to making content. He put out a video on AI being used for child slavery in which he advertises a 3-hour documentary he's making about the subject of the weaponization of AI. But later in the year, within a
why doesn't he just go back to making content and then just stop responding to these people and get it?
few months, something very peculiar would happen. He would begin to create a series that at this moment is kind of imploding on itself. And I don't know what will actually happen, but as of right now, I think we're witnessing the true downfall of MamaMax. So
yeah, it kind of seems like that. I wonder if he could just recover by waiting for everything to die down and just making videos again. But at this point, he seemed to have upset Mudahar. So, you know, that guy's got some credibility. So I think you're a little bit schnookered on that one.
So this story is still unfolding in front of our eyes, so not all the information is out there yet. There are plenty of misgivings about Max, but he very much could possibly pull this all together in the end. Who knows? But at the moment, things are not looking good for Max Striker. Within the last few months, MamaMax's
his last name is Striker? I don't believe that. That's cringe.
Channel.
That's the name he wishes he had for his movie name. There's no way.
Plummeted through a downward.
His name is probably like, dude, his name is probably like Steven. Like Steven something stupid. Steven Dingle. That's what his fucking name is probably. Max Striker is his rap name or something.
Spiral that I don't think Max has ever experienced before.
Or like Steven Steinberg. He's probably Jewish. I don't know why. I don't know why he is. There's no reason why. Okay.
And the worst part of it is, there are potential victims that could be caught in the middle of all of this. On October 27th, 2023, MamaMax would upload a video called Brainwash Your Favorite Influencers, in which Max teases his next alleged subject in this weird, twisted, pedophile hunting series. But aside from the video, what was most noticeable is that Max changed the name of his channel to God Cult, which led some fans to think his channel had been hacked. In the 10-minute teaser, Max insinuates...
not me. I mean, that just sounds like some kind of weird shit that he would do.
It's that the subject will revolve around the occult, who are enticing minors into their insidious and carnal fellowship. Max would introduce Spencer, a young woman who allegedly became entrapped in the snare of a devilish cult, which is led...
Bro, I said it before when I watched her talk about this whole thing, which you can go find that too. My page. She got fucking hit up by level 0 Riz by some weird fuckboy, probably autistic, that thought he was a vampire, and then left her abusive home to go live with him or something. You know, she alleges that there was 200 different people victims of this cult, but there's only 5 people in the cult. He's not a very good cult if you let people leave, by the way. Okay, and she somehow has no evidence, despite the fact that there are 195 people who were victims of this cult that are out now. So,
by the name of a man who believes himself to be a werewolf god while she was but 16 years old. Max then produces an image of Camden Gerard Davis, the alleged werewolf in question.
Definitely autistic. Sorry, but
Max would provoke Davis with the threat of Leviathans are coming for you. Max would then make another call to arms.
I wish they were coming in me.
He was again requesting famous YouTubers to assist him. YouTubers like PewDiePie, Lex Friedman, Mr. Beast.
Lex Friedman, Jesus, what the fuck?
Joe Rogan, Philip DeFranco, H3H3, Anthony Fantasno, and Corpse Husband. Max then advertised his Patreon, to which he claimed he was raising funds for Spencer so that she could legally pursue Camden, as well as the law agencies that allegedly...
For what? How about you just go to the fucking... I was gonna say the doctor. Just go to the fucking police, dude.
...failed her. He also used this video to call arms to other potential victims of this werewolf god, that if they see the video and wish to reach out, they can do so. Max would link a video in the description, which led to Spencer's channel, which provided a 4-hour-long podcast of all the context. So for an audience to really get the story, they'd have to sit down for 4 hours and watch all of it. Some of the...
Now, I watched that conversation that she did with that trans person. I'll just put it in the description, actually, under sources. Under the sources. But yeah, it's right here. MamaMax's story unravels as Spencer can't keep her story straight. That title's a little weak, frankly, but you know, whatever. I'll put it in the description anyway.
Allegations include Camden attempting to pimp Spencer out, sexual assault, attempted murder, being heavily manipulative, revenge porn, sexually interacting with girls as young as 13 years old, and at one point he would pee
any proof
on the women as well to mark his territory.
It's kind of hot. I mean, that's disgusting. Who would do that?
He's a werewolf. Listen, if you want all the context, then I suggest listening to the 4-hour podcast yourself, really, to get a good grasp on these.
Just the peeing part. That's The joke was just about the peeing, by the way. I just want to be very clear about that.
Allegations that are being thrown at Camden, but for most people, they don't really have any idea what these allegations even are. Now, normally, Max would just do an in-depth documentary on Camden, which would create buzz and would transition into surrounding approval for Spencer and the other victims for Max's audience. This time, he tried something very different, and it basically has failed. You see, Max was very vague in his original video, and not only that, he copied his previous pattern of trying to provoke other YouTubers to talk about it, instead of letting the content rest on his shoulders. The substance of the video should be what gets other YouTubers to have a dialogue about it, but this video is just another pestering cope fest that almost seems to use Spencer as a shield. For this reason, this new project did not go as planned, as Max would actually lose subscribers due to changing the name of his channel. Also, the comments would not be too kind towards him. In fact, they were so negative, Max was forced to turn off the comments on his video. So, on November 11th, 2023,
he got dumpstered.
Max, being the egotistical man that he is, decided to make another video replying to the hate comment. The video is one massive cope fest where Max places himself on a pedestal as the heroic hunter who's trying to do good in the world, and the comments are just...
His name might be Hunter. Like, just kind of like a douchebag name. Hunter. Ugh.
Gelatinous germs that are purposefully misunderstanding Max's intentions. He literally spends almost 30 minutes...
Does he actually say gelatinous germs?
Attacking comments.
Unsubscribed from you today. Couldn't even make it past the first 5 minutes of this video. It's such a shame that you've fallen so hard from grace, especially since I've enjoyed many of your Life Sucks videos. But ever since you quit Life Sucks, you've been going downhill, saying really dumb shit, causing controversy and drama, and being a cynical asshole. It's honestly unbelievable.
It's unfortunate that you've decided to unsubscribe.
Was this guy in a fucking bathroom now? What's happening?
After just 5 minutes into a video that tackles grave issues affecting the lives of real children. Your reluctance to engage with a video of this kind indicates your threshold for confronting reality. If you consider my advocacy for the well-being of children to be saying dumb shit, then perhaps you are someone who warrants closer scrutiny. But feel free to clarify, because I too would like to know what dumb shit you think I'm saying.
If the Tommy C situation doesn't convince you how fragile Max's ego is, then this definitely would. Listen here on how he treats this comment about PewDiePie.
I feel like it's kind of a low blow asking PewDiePie to come back to address stuff like this when he stated that he's quitting YouTube to focus on his family. But ultimately, I understand your point.
I appreciate that you ultimately understand my point. That also means you'll understand the magnitude of the issues we're confronting leaves no room for silence. If PewDiePie...
What is wrong with this guy? Stop.
I can come back and talk about Sniper Wolf, then he and others can talk about the nightmarish realities that millions of children are enduring every day.
Yeah, being forced to watch this fucking video.
And how our collective inaction is failing them on a global scale. Every influencer, regardless of their current engagement level, has a platform that could be used to drive significant change. There is an array of methods to address these issues in a way that is both impactful and accessible to...
It's certainly not doing it like this.
...to their audience. As people with the power to influence public opinion, we are not doing enough.
During the video, Max even copes out about how the
I'm pretty sure that somebody had told me that when it came to this whole vampire werewolf thing, that there was an episode of the what did I just get? Fuck. There was an episode of Law and Order SVU that was just like it. And then it was funny because the person in the video, Spencer, said that she loved that show. So I wonder if she got inspiration from Detective Stabler.
Previous video was the worst performing video on his channel. And I mean, yeah, no shit. You changed the name of your channel, you didn't provide substantial context, and you begged YouTubers to talk about it for the majority of it. Not only does he complain about his video not doing well in the algorithm, but he also talks about how a lot of the YouTubers he reached out to didn't get back to him and basically has a pity party, like a petulant child whose friends didn't wish him happy birthday. Also, because the creators who he interacted with before didn't react to his videos on live stream, Max believes that it is an act of self-preservation and that they selfishly ignored the endangerment of minors. Max then explained the reasoning behind his name switch.
Or they're just fucking tired of your dumb bullshit.
Was meant to be a metaphorical representation of influencers who apply cult-like techniques to harvest and cultivate a community. Mainly, I'd say the theme of this video, besides being a tall glass of copium.
I just love that this guy's so artistic. Like, he wants to be so artistic that do these absolutely dumb fucking things. If you're trying to save children, why are you trying to make a performance art piece out of everything? Like, he's probably sitting there jerking off like, oh my god, it'll be so cool if I change my name. It'll be like a metaphor. I'll prove you wrong, Dad. This will be fucking excellent. People will love this.
Is that he believes quantity of a talking head YouTube video unfairly surpasses the quality of a more artistic approach. This is simply a video from a frustrated YouTuber whose content did horrible in the algorithm. But again, like before, it's camouflaged as a representation of a vigilante justice against child abusers not getting the spotlight it deserved. But then it only gets worse from here, as big names are about to enter the arena. On November 25th, 2023, MamaMax would upload a video titled, quote, "This is the greatest cancellation of all time, @Penguin0.
And then changed the title like 8 times in the thumbnail because it got dumpstered.
Hashtag we are real. The video was meant to be a bait and switch, as it portrays a cancellation of Moist Critical, but it's actually just another call to action. Another call to
Well, it kind of is a little. It's not really cancellation, but it's a crybaby shit festival about how Moist Critical isn't talking about the right things. It's fucking childish as fuck.
action. The idea of the video seems to be an attempt at an introspective thrust towards the folly and irrelevance that YouTube commentary channels cultivate, an obsession with what Max would consider trivial content.
Yeah, this guy, I can't even find MamaMax's like channel anymore. Well, I gotta. Oh, sorry, I had a couple of. Oh, damn, I had a couple of things in my notes here. I can't even find this guy's channel anymore.
That apparently overwhelms the algorithm, market blocking the more serious toned subjects, like the ones Max covers, from reaching a wider audience. What Max hopes for...
Because everybody wants to just sit down and consume fucking child rape videos. Like, I'm not trying to be an asshole, but like, not everybody wants to engage with that. It's unfortunate, because we need to do stuff about it, but at the end of the day, like, Auntie Spencer? What the fuck? That's her name? Oh, because MamaMax Auntie Spencer. I swear this is like new. She did not have this name like this before. Whatever. What was I saying? Okay. Not everybody wants to engage with that because it can be very stressful. Like, that's why I don't talk about that kind of stuff as much anymore. It just burns me out, man. Like, it's not good. It fucks you up. So, you know, you can't always engage with it. Sometimes you need a break from the fucking harsh reality of the world. And that's why people like to watch my stream, because it's just brain rot bullshit all the time. I can't find this guy's fucking page anymore. Did he delete his channel or something?
In this video is for bigger influencers to avoid the topical mainstays and instead covers darker, more uncommon stories that Max believes they are avoiding.
Influencers can redefine what it means to be a content creator.
Oh, it's MamaMax again. He went back to a god cult. Or MamaMax. So, cool.
In the digital age, we can set new standards.
Funny how like searching God Cult made me find the channel, but searching MamaMax didn't.
For the kind of content that gets attention and shapes conversations.
Shaped my testicles, whether
to meaningfully impactful work can pave the way for more informed and action-oriented online community. It's an opportunity for influencers to use their platforms for something greater than just views and likes, to become agents of change in a world that desperately needs it.
Max's video would then transition into an attempt to get Charlie's attention, as Max would drop his DMs with Charlie, where he basically begged him to watch Max's original video, continuously DMing him to check up on him after Charlie went dark. It's like a jilted lover, as Max continued to be ignored. The prose within the messages become more—
You won't ignore me.
More and more manipulative. In the video to Moist Critical, Max would reveal a link in one of the screenshots of the DMs to Charlie, which would lead to a short YouTube video that invites all to find the information on the legal case that's allegedly being funded due to the authorities failing the victims. The only caveat being anyone who wants to be pertained.
Yeah, also, they didn't actually go to the police. They went to, like, one police department. They're like, hey, this is a wrong jurisdiction. You'll have to go to this one. And then they gave up instantly. So.
This information would have to sign an NDA.
You are invited to a mass call between many high-profile YouTubers and the survivors of a destructive sex cult that has victimized hundreds of children. The leader is still active. This is the real deal. Law enforcement has failed us. We have solid evidence we are saving for the legal case.
Why wouldn't you go to the police then?
You will be allowed to see everything under an NDA. They have been screaming their story for the past 7 years. I think it's time we finally listen. Your involvement would entail a brief 15-minute session, allotting 3 minutes per survivor. A subsequent Q&A is optional. Your mere...
What? You're gonna do a fucking round robin of survivors telling their stories with a Q&A at the end? What the fuck is this, Comic-Con? What the fuck is he talking about?
Presence could provide immense solace to these young individuals. If you would like to participate, we would be grateful to have you.
Later in the video, Max would come off as even more exploitative in an attempt to get Charlie.
I bet he came.
Charlie's attention publicly, because apparently pestering him in DMs did not work, during which Max even tries to recreate footage of Charlie playing with his dogs. This video is very much so a missing the mark by miles. Max would also concentrate a part of his video on Sniper Wolf, which also led to a lot of backlash because people felt that Max insinuating that Jack's Films getting dots was just irrelevant drama. Max's losing streak with uploads continued as Max would lose 2,000 subscribers and would begin to get bombarded with comments criticizing him. These weren't just biased hate comments. No, these were from his actual fans who did not like where this was going at all. It's almost like people were starting to understand the perspective that Tommy C was coming from. Now, at this point, MamaMax was officially enduring the most criticism he's ever encountered while being a YouTuber, and it kept coming. One other thing, remember when I talked about Angry Slug and how he would return? Well, it turns out Slug was brought back into the fold and helped edit Max's video on Charlie, as well as create the thumbnail. Good for him. Commentary YouTuber Sensitive Society would drop a video criticizing MamaMax the very next day, pointing out how ridiculous everything was.
If all the content you're getting from this guy is exposing Creed, what does the title insinuate? You know what I mean? Like, maybe just me, maybe you guys don't agree, but it kind of makes it seem like this guy is exposing Penguin Zero Charlie as a creep. I don't think that was his intention, and I'm not the only one who thought this. There's a lot of people who are in the comment section who was like, what is this about? Is Penguin Zero a creep? And just overall, it's one of the strangest, weirdest...
Well, like, that is what the video is about, though, right? Like, that's what he wants you to think. The MamaMax's entire thing is saying, hey, look at this person that could be using their platform to speak out against child predators. Since they're not, they must want to defend those predators. He knows he can't be explicit about saying it, but like, yeah, that's the insinuation, is that Charlie's a creep because he doesn't talk about this type of content. Like, that's what he wants you to think, yeah.
His videos and kind of guilt tripping people into doing the same type of content he's making.
And this is going to sound very familiar. Max's execution is in his fake cancellation video on Moist Critical. This video would get Max's attention, and the same day, on November 26, 2022, MamaMax would go live, something he rarely does, and address the criticism he was getting in a live stream.
That seems to be all he does now.
Titled Fight Me. Max would be joined by Spencer, as Max explained his reasoning on why he made the video to try and get Critical's attention. He would also continue to fight back against the comments on his video that he had been getting a lot of traction, and his frustrations were also made known about the pushback he was enduring. Max would then react to Sensitive Society's video about him, in which Max refused the inclination that he was trying to guilt trip everyone. At one point, Max impulsively begins to write down a bunch of names of YouTubers that the chat suggests he go get in touch with, and one of those names is yours truly. It goes without saying.
Oh, this guy? Cool.
Don't do that. It was actually a fan of mine who suggested it. Well, I guess if Max wants me to answer him on whether or not I'd have a conversation, I'll get to you, buddy, when I get to you. I got bigger fish to fry, and more important.
Oh, damn. He's hitting you with the nay-nay.
That you do. Sorry. Later, Max would address the backlash with his editor, Angry Slug, in which Max said that he's not going to engage in personal drama because that hurts the overall goal of saving children. And that
I thought that the personal drama actually helped, though, because it got people to watch your video. So I'm not understanding what's the story here.
When it comes to Slug, there's a lot of misinformation. The video on Critical, as well as the live stream, opened up the floodgates when it came to public critiques of MamaMax. First and foremost, Charlie addressed MamaMax on a live stream and relayed that he was none too happy about how Max went about this after explaining that he was dealing with COVID while Max was trying to get in touch with him. Max had also changed his name back to MamaMax from God Cult after apparently did not work, and whatever weird metaphor he was going for was just completely lost on the audience. Max would do another live stream with Spencer in which Lyrics would call in to debate him. Lyrics had recently returned to commentary, and him and another small commentary channel named Colton had a back and forth with both MamaMax and Spencer, in which at one point MamaMax claimed that he did not guilt trip Moist Critical. The conversation would eventually
Well, he tried to, yeah, but nobody cares anymore.
end on bad terms when
he doesn't have enough of an audience on his side to have an effective guilt trip. That's the only reason why it didn't work out.
Lyrics used the dreaded R slur, which is ironic given that Max was mad at Corpse Husband for throwing him under the bus.
I mean, yeah, you shouldn't use the word, but like, whatever, dude.
Due to the use of that slur. Max would then end up kicking Lyrics and Colton from the call. Later, Mudahar would call in, and the two would have a more controlled conversation where Mudahar acted in good faith.
If that's why I kicked him out, I guess that makes sense, or I guess it's fine. But he was probably just looking for a reason to stop the conversation.
And explained to Max that, again, Max's execution was poor, and that if he wants to tell an actual story, it's there for him to do so. Seriously, this story is about a man who thinks he's a werewolf who preys on children. People are going to watch that either way. Max more or less agreed, but then the next day, Tommy C did a stream, and Tommy would again speculate if Max was a grifter. Muda would call into Tommy's stream and would agree with Tommy on the fact that something just doesn't seem right, and promise to look more into the story. Tommy would then have a DM exchange with Max, which would later drop on Twitter. Soon after that, other content creators would join in on the criticism, and eventually MamaMax's whole fan base, as well as his Reddit, began to question Max's intentions. In fact, some of these people were even questioning the validity of previous content, and believed that they had found proof that he may have faked some of it. All of this is mainly equated to MamaMax producing.
Yeah, I heard that one of those things was that to try to be artistic, he recreated a Discord server as like for a visual whatever. It's fucking whatever. I mean, I wouldn't doubt that this guy does fake shit though.
Producing a complete misfire that his audience is waiting with bated breath for him to come correct. Max would also apologize to Charlie in a pinned comment to his video, as well as changing the title and thumbnail. Now, there was a lot of debate on whether Max should go to the authorities about this, and
I don't think there's any debate. There shouldn't be. Yes, you should always go to the authorities. Why won't it let me? Oh, you should always go to the authorities with this information.
And Spencer did say that at the time,
I understand it's not perfect, but it's much better than vigilante justice here.
She had reported Camden to the police, and other victims have come forward since then. And there have been attempts to obtain arrest records from Camden, as well as police reports that were allegedly made in 2017. Some of this has come to fruition, but nothing has been confirmed as of yet. But recently, Max put out a short proclaiming that he is in contact with Camden's local authorities and that an update is on the horizon. Anyway, there was an update. On January 5th, 2024, MamaMax went live again, and it got even worse. The first part of the stream was dedicated to the new victim of Camden Davis. And in the stream, Max gives updates in which he states that they are not going the civil route and are raising money so that all the victims can fly out to Georgia to report the alleged werewolf pedophile together. However, near the end, Max ended up addressing the commentary community and got pushback from multiple creators.
Hi, Xylee.
Hey, Max. Now, we've talked before. You should have known me coming up here would probably not be a good idea.
I think it's a great idea.
I mean, she's probably right. Yeah. Why are you talking to Why are you talking to a bunch of people like irrelevant YouTubers? That's not a criticism for them. I'm just saying, like, what does he have, like a fucking like a kink?
I don't know. I don't think so because you're not listening to anybody else. So what makes me think you're going to listen to me? Because I'm gonna tell you now, Lyrics had hella good points. Muda once again
hella good points.
had hella good points, and you're not listening to them. And every time Muda talked to you 2 times in a row, I think it was 2 live streams in a row, but 2 times Muda has talked to you, you act like your daddy whooped your ass, and you look like you're about to cry because you know his ass is right. But yet, you don't do what he says.
I thought Max always just looked like he was going to cry. Isn't that his thing?
What's wrong with you? You plan to go to the police, right?
Of course.
So, what's
So why don't you just go to the fucking police? Why are you doing live streams?
the point past that? Because then you're talking court. So then, if you go to police and they say, okay, yay, we're going to go get him or whatever, I don't know, live in a dreamland, whatever you want to feel, are you going to court after that?
I'm unsure about the entire process. I think that's the job of the district attorney, but y'all would likely, the survivors would likely appear as witnesses.
Okay. What bothers me is your answer right there. You've been doing this for 5 years and you don't know how the process goes? How
I've
many
never
people
been
have
to
you
court.
actually caught?
I've never been to court.
Okay.
Oh. Oh, well then well shit, that makes sense then. There you go, folks. Okay. There you go.
Lyrics, Mudahar, Smaggle Daggle, Siley gets a...
I don't know why Smaggle fucking gets me, dude. I don't know what it is about that guy. There's something. There's a soft spot for that. Just that guy. Just the name alone.
Real. It was another stream in which he spiraled and even ended it with a bit of Max foreshadowing his channel. And honestly, it's not looking good. Now, I just want to say on record that I'm not doubting Spencer's accusations. This video is not about Spencer. We'll eventually see what happens, and what I'm pointing out is how Max has gone about this. Which is one pattern I found while researching MamaMax, is that Max has a disoriented design on how to progress through social media, and it leads to piss poor execution. If Max would just create the content and tell the story, this would lead to more eyes and ears. He wouldn't have to go...
Well, if he just stopped fucking conversing with smaller YouTubers, everything would work out for him.
Drum up drama to create a spectacle, because he's a talented filmmaker and his content is...
All right, relax. Talented filmmaker? I don't think so.
Of par. In fact, his content sets a higher standard than really anything else on this platform. Look, I don't know if Max...
Yeah, higher standard of fucking cringe, dude.
...is a grifter or if he truly wants to help victims, but ultimately a YouTuber...
I don't think he cares about any victims. That's why again, he's calling fucking an 18-year-old a fucking predator, a fucking pedophile for talking to a 15-year-old. Like, this guy, or allegedly... He doesn't care. He doesn't give a singular fuck about it. I think he loves the idea of kids getting molested so that he gets to make content about it. That's his entire thing. Oh God, thank God there's somebody else. Oh my God, this 16-year-old Spencer, she was pedophiled by an 18-year-old autistic black werewolf vampire guy, and it worked. Listen, here's the reality. Okay, he's a black guy that got a fat white girl to go and live with him and pay for his bills. Sorry, dude. That's part of the level 0 Riz playbook. Not that much of a hot take. All right. Sorry. But
YouTuber's ego has always been their downfall. And I think this case resonates in the same way. Take Moist Critical, for instance. Charlie is a man who helped out Max not once but twice. 2 times Charlie has used his platform to lend a helping hand to Max, even brought Max up to the CEO of YouTube. And Max throws it all away because he didn't get a response in DMs. If that's not a fragile ego, I don't know what to tell you. Max has to control his ego if he wants to get anywhere with any of this. He has to buckle down and just make a video and not get caught up in the weeds of what people like Tommy C think. He also has to realize that he's never going to change the world with a YouTube video. And that there's a lot of people that just don't really want to watch his type of content. They just want to watch stupid gamers like XQC scream unintelligible nonsense in their microphone. Max has an audience that will watch everything he makes, but as long as it took him to make it to the top, that fall from grace can happen really quickly. So my advice to MamaMax is to quit being a bitch and make the fucking video, or this will actually be your downfall. If you really want to help people, just make the fucking video. It's not that hard. Another quick update. While working on this video, there's been tons of new updates that have been transpiring literally as we speak. If more comes to light, I guess we can expect a part 2. So if you like this doc, you can go check out my documentary playlist that's filled with video essays like this one. I'd like to give a special shout out to the research helpers on this one. You can find the links down below, of course, and take care, be well, and MamaMax, bro, if you fucking get distracted with this fucking video, and you're done.
Thank you all.
Oh.
For joining the stream and participating in this conversation.
Okay.
We'll see you. We'll see you. Probably never again.
MamaMax.
Okay. Great ending to that one. It's kind of funny.